That's right. Let's effing go.
Let's
Uh,
go.
so, hi, I'm Spawn of AJ. I'm not AJ. I'm also not a 12-year-old boy. I just look like one. I'm actually a 30-year-old female. But I do want to get to. I saw that we had a bigger raid, so thank you guys so much for that. And then I saw we had another one from Squid. Also, thank you guys so much for that. It means the absolute world to us. Also, Squid, I went back and looked. I heard you said it melted my heart. You said some really, really nice things. So thank you so much. Hello, Flash Fan. Hello, Chloe.
Dodo.
Dodo. What a do?
What it
So
do, boo boo?
what we're doing, we're actually gonna finish up. You're good. We're gonna finish up the Chante Mallard trial. Sorry, my mind just went blank for a second. I'm like, what trial are we doing? Um, we're gonna finish that up today. And hello, hold on, I gotta get my hellos in. Hello and hello. Um, so if you don't know anything about this case, it happened in 2003 in Texas. Um, Basically, this woman was under the influence of some things. Ended up hitting a homeless man. They try to call it a hit and run. Most of the time, a hit and run is where you leave the person. He was not left at the scene because he went through her windshield and he did not pass away. She drove past the fire station. She drove past like all toll phones. She drove past the police station. She drove past two hospitals and decided that it was a good idea to park her car in the garage and then let this man just pass away and then take him out of the windshield, put him in.
Sorry, that was a car.
You could
You
put
shut the
him
window.
in a park and act basically just like he got the crap kicked out of him. Um, Due to the lack of blood at the scene, due to drag marks, all this other stuff, like the police knew, like, there's something weird with this. So she had called some friends, um, also the same friends that helped her dispose, and um, there was one friend that she told her mom what was happening, and her mom was like, I don't want any blood on my hands, basically. And so she had her daughter do like a anonymous tip, basically, and say, "Hey, this is what happened. This is who did it. Um, all that good stuff." So if you haven't watched it, it's a crazy trial. You guys are more than welcome, obviously, to go back through our streams and watch it. Because it's a good one. What's up, Luca? So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I do have this in 30 something minutes because we watched it earlier and it's out of the presence of the jury. And I'm not gonna sit here and make you guys listen to him reiterate himself. That would be really pointless. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with this doctor in the presence of the jury. And as always, I hope you guys do banter and chat. My mom's not here right now, so we're good. I'm just kidding. My mom doesn't care.
Also, hi, I'm Gabby.
Oh, yeah. And then we have this person over here. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. This is our lovely co-host, Gabby. Um, yeah. Sorry, I got like really nervous all of a sudden, and I don't know why. So we're just gonna go ahead and push play. But yes, as always, roast each other in the chat, do friendly banter in the chat. Make sure you don't get, I guess, too out of line. You can be edgy, but you better watch yourself.
I'm gonna be edgy.
Yeah.
Did
Did I hack my mom's channel again? Yes, I did. It happens. But anyways, thank you for the Baker Raiders. Thank you for the Squid Raiders. We really, really, really appreciate that. If you're not able to stick around, please hit that like and subscribe button. But if you are, let's get to it. I gotta share the screen. I always forget to do that.
Good job.
Counsel for defense, you may call your next witness.
No, Dr. Gary Wimbish.
All right, and let the record reflect this witness has been previously sworn. You may continue.
Doctor, would you please state your name for the jury?
I'm Gary Harold Winbish.
Dr. Wimbish, what is your business or profession?
I'm a toxicologist.
And if you will, please give us what's your position right now and the name of the business you're in.
I'm president of Forensic Toxicology Consultants Incorporated.
And what does Forensic Toxicology Consultants Incorporated do?
We provide services to courts, attorneys, companies, and interested parties concerning the effects of drugs and chemicals, and they may relate to a particular claim, case, or event concerning the health of a person.
And basically, can you, in a very short form, tell the jury what the science of toxicology involves?
Certainly. Toxicology is a study of the effects of drugs and chemicals on biological systems or humans, with particular emphasis on the conditions under which those effects occur.
What, if you will, tell the jury your educational background.
Yes, sir. I have a Bachelor of Science in Chemistry from Texas A&M University. I have a PhD in toxicology from Indiana University Medical Center, and I'm board certified in forensic toxicology.
And basically, can you summarize your professional experience?
Yes, I was fortunate to be able to teach at the medical school here in Fort Worth for a number of years as an associate professor in the departments of pharmacology and pathology, and directed the Institute of Forensic Medicine, of which I was able to teach graduate students for their PhD and master's degree, as well as medical students who would study in the area of toxicology. I've directed drug testing laboratories, worked with medical examiner offices and performed large numbers of analysis of drugs and chemicals in biological fluids.
Are you members of any professional societies?
Yes, sir. I'm a member of the Southwestern Association of Toxicologists. I'm a fellow in the American Academy of Forensic Sciences, and I'm a member of the Society of Toxicologists and the International Association of Forensic Toxicologists.
Have you conducted any research in the area of toxicology?
I have.
And can you describe briefly and maybe detail some of that to the jury?
Well, essentially, my research is concerned a broad range from analytical methods, that is how you determine the concentration of a drug in blood or tissue, the details required to do it for analytical certainty. I published articles concerning the effects of drugs, particularly anticonvulsants, and their effects upon the central nervous system, as well as drug combinations, that is alcohol and commonly prescribed medication, and its effect upon a person.
Do you have publications that have been reviewed and published?
Yes.
Okay, if you would basically tell the jury the type of publications that you have.
All right. The publications that I participated in one's called peer-reviewed publication, means you submit your research or your opinions or ideas. They're reviewed by a body of experts, that is toxicologists, physicians, or other professionals in the field. They read what you have to say, indicate whether you have currently searched all the current knowledge concerning the article. Have you added something new and different to the scientific community, and is it done in a professional fashion that would benefit the area that you're publishing in? And that's called peer-reviewed publications, and I have a number of those.
Doctor, in your professional experience, have you testified many times in court?
I have.
And throughout your professional experience, have you testified in criminal cases?
I have.
Have you testified in civil cases?
I have.
I want to call your attention to your testimony in criminal cases. Throughout your career, have you testified for the prosecution? That means the DA's offices on many occasions.
I have, yes.
Okay. And have you testified for them where they used your testimony before judges or juries in order for the fact finders to reach conclusions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And overall, do you say you have testified more for the prosecutors throughout the state or for defense lawyers?
Well, the earlier part of my career was primarily for prosecutors. At present, it's about equal, prosecution and defense.
And if prosecutors ask you to testify regarding the effects of certain drugs on humans?
They have, yes.
As a matter of fact, have you testified within the last year or so for the Tarrant County District Attorney's Office, the same District Attorney's Office that Ms. Jacks and Mr. Alford worked for, testified in a felony case for one of their assistant district attorneys?
That's correct, I have.
And were you asked to testify in front of a jury just like this?
Yes.
And the prosecutors in that case asked the jury to rely on your testimony and seeking a conviction in that very case. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That was my understanding.
And that's in this very courthouse.
Yes.
In that case, they vouched for your credentials and qualifications and expertise, didn't they?
The court accepted those, yes.
Okay. And they were sponsored by the Tarrant County District Attorney's Office. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm going to pose a hypothetical question to you, Doctor, and then ask you for some opinions and conclusions and the basis for them. Assume that you have a approximately 25-year-old female who is an average drinker. And by that, I mean she is a person who drinks weekly and drinks generally on weekends.
No, sir. Your own client testified. Yeah, I shut that bar down, but I wasn't intoxicated. I don't get intoxicated on that many drinks. But I know you got to try, but I wouldn't bark up that tree.
Okay. That on the date in question, that somewhere between 11:15 and approximately 12 midnight, the person consumed one drink of gin and orange juice. And between the hours of midnight and 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 more drinks, which would have been hard liquor drinks of what we call well drinks. You understand what that is?
Yes, sir.
Instead of a specific call liquor, the well liquor served in a nightclub. That this same person also is a chronic user of marijuana. And by that, I mean someone who smoked marijuana on a daily basis, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, over a period of approximately 5 years leading up to the event in question. That on the evening in question, this person had somewhere between 11:30 and 12 midnight, smoked with one other person a marijuana cigarette or a joint. That at a nightclub, that the person between the hours of 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock had smoked marijuana in what is referred to as a blunt. In other words, a cigar that the tobacco had been hollowed out, cigar shape, filled up with marijuana and re-rolled into a blunt form. That this same person had approximately 6 months earlier taken the drug ecstasy one time, and that on the evening in question at approximately 11:30 had taken 1/2 of an ecstasy pill and chewed it. At the club between the hours of 12 midnight and 2 a.m., witnesses who knew this person and knew her demeanor on marijuana and alcohol, describe her as being intoxicated. That is, she had lost the normal use of her mental or physical faculties because she had lost her balance, had fallen into someone and broken their shoe, and by looking into her eyes, they could tell that she was under the effects of some type of drugs or alcohol or both. That also, in the parking lot of the club at between 2 and 2:30, somewhere after 2 o'clock, that witnesses had observed this person attempt to drive for a few feet and had all stopped her, claiming that she was not able to drive because of her condition and had someone else drive from the club parking lot. Okay?
Yes, sir.
This other person drives the vehicle for approximately 20 minutes. The other person gets out of the vehicle, and the individual we're describing then drives for another 10 to 15 minutes, and at that time has a startling accident that creates an emergency situation. The accident being that a pedestrian was struck and approximately 200-pound body comes flying through the windshield, lands in the front seat area of the car, and breaks the glass out of the windshield. Okay, assuming that fact pattern, I'm going to ask you some questions about that, okay? All right. First of all, can you tell me whether or not, well, let's start with the alcohol. How about that? What effect would the alcohol have on a person under these circumstances?
The time frame which you mentioned, the consumption of the alcohol and the quantity, is approximately 3, perhaps 4 drinks. They were consumed over a time from 11 till 2 o'clock. So by the accident, 4 hours had passed. And essentially the alcohol from that absorption to the elimination would be a low concentration, perhaps a 0.02 grams percent, and be a minor effect at that time.
Okay. What about the effects of marijuana?
Marijuana is more significant. The chronic use is important, plus the recency of use in that evening. The effects of marijuana would be still enjoyed at the time, but the person would have the euphoric effects still lasting. But more important, the chronic use of marijuana would have create problems with the recall of memory. That is, the ability to respond to an emergency or an event. The person would have difficulty in accessing long-term files. That is, how have I reacted before? How am I to respond at this time? Accessing that information and creating a sequence of appropriate responses would be difficult to perform.
Okay, let's kind of break that down. First of all, you referred to long-term memory. What is long-term memory?
Long-term memory is stored information of which throughout your lifetime you have gathered data, if you will, as to how to respond to a stimuli or something that you see. You've performed responses before you based on your learned information that you've stored away. So when you're creating with a new response or an environment, you have to pull those files, if you will, search through those and integrate what's appropriate for the response in a matter of split seconds and decide what to do. That information is inhibited so that the sequence of events by marijuana is the process of the effect from chronic use of marijuana and some acute use. So the sequencing process of the order would be affected.
Okay, what do you mean by the sequencing process?
Well, it's best described as intersecting thought. That is, trying to access the files, if you will, and trying to integrate what the brain is seeing as information to interpret the recent information to long-term files or having a collision. They're not integrated well. That is, they can't sequence as to what do I do next. It would be inappropriate or not correct is the best way to put it.
Okay. For example, if someone has an emergency situation that they're faced with. Okay. What they're doing is trying to, I guess, when they see something, somehow instantaneously their brain says, how do I respond to this? Or
Yes, the first response is the stimulation from the event creates adrenaline that flows.
and how does adrenaline play in? Why do we have adrenaline? I mean, what is the purpose of having that adrenaline in our body?
In this scenario, it's best described as what we call a fight or flight syndrome, that it prepares the body to either address the issue called fight or to address the issue in leaving the event.
Hold on one second. I'm assuming you're asking about this guy. He's apparently like a toxicology expert. If you're not asking that.
Did you just say a clockologist?
Toxicology.
Oh, I gotta turn you
But
up.
yes,
Sorry.
but yeah, you can turn me on.
No thanks.
We can make this chat go real sideways real quick.
Listen, we could, but
We're not gonna do that because my mom is gonna pop in at any time.
it could happen any second.
I did put a goal up there since my mom's not here, so because she won't do it herself. No obligations to the goal. Honestly, all funds, like if you're a new membership, if you do a membership, gifted membership, super chat, super stickers, all of that is actually going to to get a new computer for my mom. So we can still keep streaming. Her computer doesn't really have the capability right now to do what she needs to do, but there's no obligation. We are just happy that you're here. So the goal is there. Hopefully we meet it, but there is no hard feelings if we don't. But we're going to keep rolling on this.
To get away before danger and harm occurs, the fight or flight syndrome. Adrenaline increases blood flow, it increases blood pressure, it increases perfusion of tissue by blood, increases the oxygen content to certain areas throughout the body, increasing the brain. The cardiac muscle responds, so it pumps harder and faster. Most people have experienced that. During that time, your senses are heightened and your ability to respond is very lucid and to your best abilities at the time under the influence of adrenaline.
And so if we have adrenaline, I mean, the good Lord gave us adrenaline because if some emergency situation happens, the adrenaline increases and we're supposed to be able to respond better. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Better, and everything is heightened because of adrenaline. Okay.
That's correct.
Now, if you are a chronic marijuana user and you're under the influence of a marijuana, how is that affected?
Well, the adrenaline is certainly in play, and the heart rate, blood pressure, all of its pharmacodynamic and physiological effects are in place. But the marijuana is affecting the ability to access the memory files and pull the information to integrate with the immediacy of the response and come up with a correct answer as to what do I do and how do I respond to that. That process is inhibited.
So it inhibits the ability of someone to reach back into those files of what do I do in an emergency situation so they can figure out what to do in this situation.
That's correct. The marijuana affects primarily the sequencing of those events.
What about the drug ecstasy? How does it play into this situation?
Ecstasy is different from marijuana and alcohol, and it's a stimulant. It stimulates the central nervous system. It is in the general category of an amphetamine type drug.
I promise I won't keep stopping. No, you're good. We're really happy to have you. Honestly, my mom is more lenient than I am. So like with the chat, but I promise you are good. You can pretty much say whatever you want in the chat and I don't care. She don't care. But yes, whoever, I agree with you. It's really starting to kind of come all together that it was the X that was the big problem. But at the same time, you can't excuse she mixed it with other things, which is going to give you a whole different type like of effect. But yes, I agree with both of you. I would say that was a really big reason. Yes, whatever you want. You can virtually say whatever you want. Yeah, I don't care. And the mods know what to do, so they know to not care either. We like to have fun here. I mean, I sit here and I drink on the channel. So. But all right, guys, we'll keep going.
Also is considered a hallucinogenic drug. It produces altered distortion of what you may see or perceive. So it is stimulating in that you may feel up. The sociological effects of why people take the drug, it makes you more socially engaging. Complete inhibition or release of all inhibitions you may have. That is, you become what someone may suggest you may do without thought. You may become more socially engaging.
In a social situation, if ecstasy is taken, I mean, you're saying socially engaging, and by that I mean, good time Charlie. But I don't know, that's what that means to me. How does it affect a person to resist what someone else wants them to do?
The whatever they've learned of how to respond to social environments, how you interact with people, takes down all the barriers. So that if someone suggests that an act that you wouldn't necessarily become involved with, you may act on that response without thinking about it, because of all of your control mechanisms are essentially released by the effects of the drug.
Could you please tell the jury the history of this drug, ecstasy? What is ecstasy? What's the history of it?
It's classified as a stimulant and a hallucinogenic drug. It's not a new drug. It was first made in about 1914 as a series of drugs that were investigated by a large drug company for appetite control. It's an amphetamine family. So they made a whole series of these particular types of what's called analogs. Nothing happened with the drug. There was no placement of that drug forward until the early 60s or 70s, when the fundamental research was done as to how safe is this drug? What effects does it produce?
Let me stop you right there. When it was developed in 1914, it was developed and then put on a shelf somewhere, so to speak.
That's correct.
It was never marketed, commercially approved by the FDA, or released.
That's correct. It was not.
Okay, all right.
All right. In the 60s, it had some interest because of its stimulating properties. And so they investigated that and found out it was hallucinogenic and produced, if you will, disruption of the ability to integrate information. So the fundamental research on how much does it take to produce an effect, what are its toxic effects, how does it produce death, how does it affect the central nervous system, was all performed.
And that was performed in the 1960s?
Late 60s and early 70s, yes.
And so there was a great deal of testing done on it at that time, is that right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And did the United States military start investigating this drug and testing this drug for a specific purpose?
Yes, they did.
And if you would, tell the jury what the military was looking into and why they might want to take this drug and use it for some military purpose.
The military was looking at a series of drugs, including hallucinogenic drugs, that could be put in food supplies or water supply that could disrupt the activities of an enemy to respond to an emergency. That is, this drug or this class of drugs, hallucinogenic drugs, were put in a supply. Their ability to rely on their training, their knowledge of how to respond to a combat or an emergency would be disrupted completely. They would not be able to formulate the proper thought to respond appropriately.
So, for example, what the military was looking at is trying to, if you take this drug and you find some way to put it in either the food supply, the water supply, or something of an enemy nation, and then at the time of war, if we attacked or if we bombed, like in Iraq or something like that, the purpose of it would be is that the people of the enemy nation would not be able to process how to respond to an emergency.
He's
He's an expert, Your Honor. You can lead an expert.
Abstain.
Okay. So, okay, if you would kind of explain the effect, how it would affect someone to where it would be a military advantage to the United States, if you'll explain
Object
that.
the relevance of any further testimony about military advantage or other.
Well,
Overruled.
please tell the jury.
All right, essentially, the drug through its adverse effects, that is producing the inability to respond appropriately to a stimulus, that is, you're threatened by some response, to access the long-term memory training files of how you've been trained to respond or what you know how to respond. It would interrupt the proper sequencing of recall of that information to integrate it to an event. And this is not just ecstasy, but hallucinogenic drugs of that particular nature. And these groups were investigated as to their efficacy, that it's the ability to produce a response, and the dose is how much would it require to put into the food supply or water supply.
Doctor, if it will, you have used the term files, and referring to long-term memory, you've used the term of go back, pull out a file, and it will tell you, based upon your history, knowledge, upbringing, and everything else, what you're supposed to do in a certain situation,
Yes, sir.
how to respond.
Yes, sir.
And what you're telling us is that you can't get to the file.
Check leading.
It's a preparatory question, John.
All right, continue.
Okay. We've got, well, you've seen these demonstrative aids, haven't you?
I have, yes,
Does this help you explain to the jury what we're talking about?
yes, sir, it will.
Okay. We have the term long-term memory in a file box up here. Tell the jury what you're talking about here.
Well, essentially, the files that I referred to are stored areas of memory of which we require to function. The filing cabinet is simply a box that we can look at of where those files are stored.
Okay. And inside there, that's what you just described, is there are certain files all in our long-term memory dealing with all kinds of different issues.
Absolutely, and complete access to that area is required.
Okay. And why is that required?
In the ability to make decisions, to respond based on is everything that you've learned. And the ability to access those files is important in any response.
So if a person is not on ecstasy, the person then can access those files and affect their mind, reads them, and then they know how to respond in a certain situation.
Yes, they can make decisions.
All right, now, what happens when a person is on ecstasy?
Well, essentially, the pictorial is this file cabinet is locked.
And what does ecstasy do to lock the file cabinet and prevent a person from getting in there to tell them what to do in an emergency situation?
Well, essentially, the mechanism, it alters normal neurochemistry, or how the body processes information. And the effects of that are rather dramatic in the ability to recall stored files or information of how to respond to some event and to integrate that appropriately to make it correct.
Well, when you're talking about stored memory and unable to reach stored memory, can a person do things without going into their stored memory? In other words, without going into their long memory, can people do things that they're used to doing?
Yes, they can.
For example, can people drive a car?
Sure. Fundamental things that are learned, an automatic type behavior, something that you've done on many occasions that doesn't require the integration of long-term events. That is kind of a stimulus response that requires fundamental level of operation, driving a car, walking perhaps, or carrying on a conversation with a friend. All of those can take place.
All right. And for example, in the military application that we talked about earlier, if this was put in the water supply, let's say of some country, enemy country, the people could go around and walk and drink and eat and all of that. But if you had an emergency situation, is that when it would come into play?
It would be most pronounced at disrupting the free recall of important information to respond.
Okay. Now, would a person be able to find their way home?
If they were in a familiar area that they had driven on many occasions, the answer is yes.
Would a person be able to know the streets they were on?
Yes.
Would a person be able to recognize their own house?
Yes,
Would the person be able to recognize where the garage is?
yes,
Would the person be able to access the garage door opener to open the garage?
if that were a part of their routine that they performed on a daily basis, the answer is yes.
Okay. And would they be able to, use the garage door opener to close the garage?
Yes,
Would they be able to walk into their house?
yes,
Those are not the type of things that you're saying would be affected drastically by ecstasy.
that's correct.
Okay. If a person in the situation that we have described and under the conditions that we have set forth to you, would a person be able to make rational decisions to respond to the emergency situation that I have described to you? And would they be able to reach into their long-term memory and be able to make appropriate decisions under the circumstances?
No, they wouldn't.
And why not?
Well, the drugs, the adverse effect of these drugs that we've discussed have been found to interrupt those processes. That is, the free access to the information, recall is inhibited or disrupted.
And if you have the combined effects of the marijuana by a chronic user with the ecstasy, would there be more interruption?
Yes, the term is used augmentation. That is, one drug augments the effects of the other. There may be slightly different pathways that are involved or different receptor groups that are involved, but the summation is it disrupts that function and they affect each other in combination.
How long could, or under the research, how long do the effects of this ecstasy last?
On the adverse effects or the disruption process, the information we currently have is about 7 days. Past that, we don't know.
Is there a difference between the euphoric effect and the neurochemical effect?
Yes, the euphoric effect for which people take the drug for partying, if you will, is quite different from the term called neurotoxicity, or the effect upon the central nervous system that is adverse to the functioning of the individual. They're two separate areas.
The euphoric effect, or the effect that people on the street take this drug for, that would last approximately how long?
The effects are 4 to 6 hours.
Okay. And what about, let me ask you, how would this combination of drugs affect an individual within, let's say, 20 hours after the event?
Well, the euphoric effects would have dissipated during that time. That is, the social engaging part of it, or the euphoric effects, would have reduced significantly, and the adverse effects would be prominent. That is, the disruption of the memory and recall.
And would you say that what would your opinion be as to whether a person would be able to make decisions that require reaching into your long-term memory and bringing something forward in that regard
It would be
within 18 or 20 hours?
It would be difficult.
And that process would be effective for as long as 7 days?
Yes, that's been published, yes.
And would the effects be diminishing over the 7 days?
They would be diminished. We don't know how rapidly it diminishes. We just know we can see it up to that long.
Would a person be able to access what is called recent resident memory?
Yeah, the recent resident memory is you driving a car and in a familiar neighborhood that you've seen on many occasions, or something that's happened within the last few hours, you might be able to integrate. That would be more readily available information. You could use that.
Okay. So if you had been with somebody over the last few hours, you may be able to recall who they are But as far as reaching back into what you learned as a child or growing up, how to respond, you would not be able to reach that far back.
Yes, those are the areas that are much more difficult, yes.
Pass the witness.
Dr. Wimbish, we've met in court before, have we not?
Yes, sir, we have.
You testified for defense attorneys on cases that I'm on. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I've never retained your services, have I?
I don't think so.
Okay. And when exactly did you stop working primarily for the state and go into private business where you were for hire to testify as an expert?
I've not stopped.
When did the concentration of the testimony you're given become more on the defense and civil side and less on the state side?
About 1994, 95.
Okay. And what percentage, how long have you been, since 1994 and 1995, what percent of your testimony has been as called as a witness for the state?
Probably maybe 2 to 3% cases.
You testify quite a bit in DWI cases.
I do.
And you received a letter from me, did you not?
I did.
And in that letter, I requested that you bring the materials you relied upon in forming your opinion.
Hold on, I gotta stop real quick. Oh, look who it is. Oh, hey, Mom. You
Hello.
aren't doing anything over here.
Whatevs. Sorry, I had to eat dinner and see my husband for 42 minutes for today.
I started a goal for you. You did get a super chat. Thank you so much. I don't know how to pronounce your name, so I'm not even going to attempt
Looks
it.
like stats. That's what I would say. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hello, whoever. And Ash. Ash, I see you have a migraine, and I hope you feel better.
I hate migraines. Is that the real AJ? No, it's a figment of your imagination.
What's up, Adair? Hello, Flashman. Hello, everyone. I told her not to pause. I was like, I'll just come in and wave. Keep going. But yes, Adair,
Nope.
I am real.
I can't do that. I just ate Taco Bell. And not only did I eat Taco Bell, I scarfed it down.
Football
So-
stats equals stats. I was right. Stats.
Danny T.
What's up, Danny? Hey, Chloe. AJ, gentle and non-controversial greeting to you that hopefully isn't deleted by YouTube. And Zach, a scratch on my neck to you that cannot be deleted by YouTube. Hey, Dodo, how are you?
Do you want me to keep going or do you want the
Nope,
timestamp?
you keep going,
Okay.
and
I'll
I
send that
will grab the next one.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Well, I'm going to keep going.
All right.
And listed what I was talking about, basically, right?
That's correct.
And you relied upon a text that you told me about outside the jury's presence. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you did not bring that text with you.
I did not.
And I didn't subpoena you to bring it, did I?
You did not.
I simply asked you as a matter of professional courtesy to bring it with you,
That's correct.
and you did not.
That's right.
And we're currently waiting to see if I can get a fast copy of some of that information. Is that
I
correct?
think you have a copy of that.
I'm not going to argue the point. We may have it at the table now, but I haven't had a chance to look at it. Let's talk about everything you're saying. I take it every opinion you're giving is based upon a facts as given to you. Is that correct?
Based on what I've heard today, yes, sir.
Okay. And if some parts of those facts are incorrect or changed, your opinion would change. Is that correct?
It could.
Okay. And in terms of the alcohol concentration, for instance, you're able and on a regular basis have before taken a number of drinks, start drinking time, end drinking time, and figured what their alcohol concentration would be.
That's correct.
And you've testified to that in court, have you not?
I have.
Okay. And in this particular case, as to the drinking sequence, did you do that calculation when you said 0.02 a while ago? Have you actually gone through the mathematical calculation to see if that is correct?
I did a rough estimate, yes, sir.
Okay. And that is based upon the assumption that we're drinking 100 proof. Is that what you said?
Well, essentially, I based it upon it was a standard drink.
100 proof alcohol.
As 1 ounce of 100 proof whiskey is considered the standard drink.
Okay. And isn't it true that most whiskey that people have in their homes is going to be 80 proof?
80 or 86 Proof, yes.
Okay. And so if the proof of the alcohol is lower, is it correct to assume that the effects of the alcohol are also going to be somewhat lower?
Well, my experience with that particular is they usually pour more than an ounce.
Okay, but that wasn't my question, was it,
Half.
doctor? Was that the question I just asked you?
Oh, you were asking about the dose.
Okay. And do I need to ask it again?
You may.
Okay. If it's not 100 proof alcohol, if it's 80 proof alcohol, is that going to affect how that alcohol affects the person over time?
It would affect the dose given and ultimately the concentration in the blood on an equivalent basis would be less.
Okay. And in plain English, it would affect how the alcohol makes them feel.
Theoretically, yes.
Okay. Well, everything you talked about is theoretical, is it not?
Well, it's based upon reasonable scientific probability.
It's based upon your opinion of reasonable scientific probability.
And my interpretation as a toxicologist of that, yes.
Okay. And one of the things that you were told was that this person had a drink at about 11:15, gin and orange juice. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And you don't know what the proof of that drink was?
Well, usually gin is 80 proof.
But you don't know, do you?
That's correct, I know.
Okay. Well, when you figured that gin was 80 proof, did you work that into the calculation you just told us about?
I considered a standard drink that is a total amount of alcohol in a drink is equivalent, whether it's a glass of wine or a mixed drink or a beer. They all contain about the same amount of alcohol.
And in very simple terms, the number of drinks you have, just as the number of marijuana cigarettes you have, just as the number of ecstasy pills you have, as you take more of that substance, it increases the effect it has on you.
And most drugs have what we call a dose-response relationship. Yes, sir.
That would be a yes then, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So it would make a difference, would it not, whether the person took a couple puffs on a cigar or cigarette in the scenario you were given, as opposed to them smoking an entire cigarette of cigar of marijuana?
Sure, how deeply they inhaled, how long they held their breath, all of those are important issues.
Because if they're just taking puffs and they're not consuming or the entire cigar or cigarette, then sometime 2 or 3 hours later, the effect the alcohol is having on, the effect the marijuana that is having on them could be low.
Certainly.
Isn't that correct?
Could be.
And you don't believe that anyone is intoxicated at 0.02, do you?
For alcohol?
For alcohol.
Generally speaking, the answer is certainly no.
Okay, well, in your opinion, it's a person at a 0.06 is not intoxicated. Is that correct?
Well, to clarify that in that testimony, some individuals who consume alcohol on a regular basis develop tolerance to lower blood alcohol concentrations and may not demonstrate any signs of intoxication at a blood alcohol concentration of 0.06.
Exactly, and you know what case I'm talking about, don't you?
No, that's my testimony on a regular basis.
Okay. Well, in the Tara Fowler case, we had an individual that you determined from your calculations was a 0.06 at the time of the crash involved in that case. Remember that?
No, sir, I don't, but fine.
All right, and your opinion was that person, and this was a non-naive drinker from your testimony, that person would not have lost the normal use of their mental or physical faculties.
That's true.
Okay. And 0.06 is a higher concentration than 0.02, is it not?
Yes, it is.
And you wouldn't disagree with me that if the only thing that this defendant had consumed in the time period given you was alcohol, that at the time the crash occurred, the alcohol would have had no effect on the reason for that crash.
That's reasonable, yes, sir.
And if the calculations you're doing as to the consumption of the marijuana cigarettes, if the amount of marijuana smoked is, well, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you this question. When you were making your calculations and preparing to give your opinions, were you making any assumptions as to whether or not it was one puff of a marijuana cigarette or the smoking of an entire marijuana cigarette or cigar?
My estimation was based on the fact that people smoke marijuana for the benefit of the effect, and they may titrate themselves. That is, they may measure the amount of drug they intake and inhale depending on the response in the central nervous system. That is, they tend to titrate themselves based on what they want the effect to be. And I assume that they had benefited from that smoking event.
Do I need to ask my question again? Were you making an assumption to give your opinion on whether or not it was a couple smokes of the marijuana cigarette or whether they consumed the entire cigarette, in giving your opinion of the effect it would have on her when she was driving?
I just gave you my best response.
That's the best you can do.
I can't answer that quantitatively. I wasn't there and didn't see it.
Okay. Okay. Well, you weren't there and you didn't see any of the stuff you're talking about, did you?
That's correct.
And ecstasy isn't something you buy over the counter, is it?
It is not.
It's an illicit drug, is it
It
not?
is.
And you're familiar with the literature about ecstasy, are you not?
I am.
And you know that there are different concentrations, adulterants, and dilutants that can be included in the illicit manufacture of that drug.
That's correct.
And you're aware of studies where they actually tested pills they thought were ecstasy, and those pills turned out to have nothing in them.
That's correct.
And so in the taking of the ecstasy, do you have the information from the scientific literature? The average ecstasy pill has approximately what, 150 to 200
It has
milligrams?
from 50 to 350 milligrams is what's been found.
From 50 to what?
And I got to unmute. Sticky, this is the penalty phase. So the defense is actually putting on the witnesses first, and the state is cross-examining them. So this is the defense expert witness. He's a toxicologist, and this is the state that's cross-examining him, like I just said. So let me repeat myself 6 times. Sorry, but yes. So in Texas, if you guys aren't aware or haven't watched a trial in Texas, you can have the judge or the jury decide your penalty. And she went with the jury deciding her penalty. So that's why they are doing this right now, to decide her penalty. I am on it. Good grief.
Doing really good today.
Oh, I'm just unaliving it.
I'm
What'd you
allowing it.
Gabby?
Do it.
Do it. I
That's
will
not what it is.
ever do the shocker. I've learned. I'm trained.
It's that one. That's what you're looking for.
And thank you, Gabby. And thank you, Zach, for your super chats, I guess.
Yeah.
We're even, and I like your dog, so.
Are we?
Oh, wait, I forgot I was in this show. I literally looked up, I was like, oh, I'm in StreamYard.
Yeah.
Zach, you're still $1 behind, bud.
But seriously, Zach's dog is like the cutest. Have you ever
Very
watched
cute.
any of the videos?
Very cute.
He's so cute.
All right, guys. We got 20-ish more minutes. Let's finish this up real quick.
All right, well, let's go.
350.
Okay. And it's correct, is it not, that depending on whether it's 50 or 350 milligrams, that's going to impact the effect it has on you and how long that effect lasts.
That's reasonable, yes, sir.
And that's let's see, 350 is about, and as is known, I'm mathing, is not my strong point. That's 7 times more than the 50, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And you have no idea what dosage the pill that Chante Mallard took that evening was?
That's correct. I do not.
And they did tell you that she only took half of the pill, did they not?
That was mentioned, yes.
Okay. And the amount and the concentration of that particular drug would also impact the opinions you've given as to what she was capable of doing at the time of the crash.
That's reasonable.
And is it also not reasonable that if the concentration of the ecstasy pill was at the low end, if the consumption of the marijuana, the smoking, was at the low end, and we already know that the alcohol concentration was at the low end, that even combining those effects, the impact on her behavior and her driving at that point of the collision could be less than you've described?
Theoretically, it could be less. Quantitatively, I don't know.
Okay, well, again, you used the word theoretically. Everything you've talked about is theoretical, is it not?
It's based on the information that I'm given right now.
Okay, and so if the information I'm giving you from my hypothetical is closer to the truth than the other information that it was at a higher end, that's going to change your opinion.
It will alter it qualitatively, yes.
Okay. And in terms of the file cabinet we had up there, can you tell me which drawer of the file cabinet the difference between determining right and wrong is?
I can't address that. It's beyond my area of expertise.
Will you agree with me that ecstasy is pretty much an epidemic in our young people today?
That's reported by the news media, yes.
And you don't have any reason to doubt that, do you?
I don't.
You know what a rave is, don't you?
I do.
And you know that a rave is a collection of young people who engage in drug taking and alcohol and dancing and other partying activities, correct?
That's what I hear.
Okay, I'm not suggesting you've been to one. So ecstasy is that, as far as its use, it's very commonly found in people that attend those events. Is that right?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay, so it's not a new drug to our society.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Okay. And you would also agree with me that knowing exactly the effects of ecstasy on particular individuals is somewhat hampered by the fact that it's hard to do studies on those effects. Is that
That's correct.
Because unlike alcohol, you can't bring people in and say, I'm going to dose you and I'm going to see what your concentration is, and then I'm going to give you tests. You can't do that with ecstasy.
That's difficult to get through what's called the Institutional Review Board, yes.
Okay. And as a result of that, studies dealing with the effects of ecstasy are somewhat hampered by the inability to have controlled testing of the effects.
That's right. Our population study right now is those who decide to use it.
Okay. And so again, as compared to, say, alcohol concentrations, the information that as to how it affects an individual person and how long it affects them is somewhat hampered by the inability to study it as you do alcohol.
Yes, all scientists would like to be able to study that in a controlled environment, but
you can't do it.
Can't do it.
You talked about the fact that a person under the hypothetical situation you were given would be able to recognize their house.
That's reasonable.
You said also they'd be able to find their garage door opener.
Yes, sir.
So I guess it's fair to say they would be able to recognize a house in general.
I think that's okay.
As they're moving down the street, they would not be looking over and saying, what is that square structure there? They'd be able to say, there's a house, there's a house, there's a house.
I think that's okay, yes.
And would it also be fair to say that they would be able to distinguish between a house and a fire department?
I'm not too sure I can respond to that. I don't know.
Would you agree with me that most fire departments are distinctly different in their appearance than houses are?
Well, they are to me, but I don't know if this person could have done that.
Okay. Do you think it would make a difference as to terms of whether they could recognize it if a relative had worked for the fire department at one point, just so they were familiar with the building?
I really can't respond to that.
You can't respond to that?
That's correct.
Okay. They were able to tell the difference between a stop sign and a red light when they're on the drug. Is
If
that
they had
correct?
been through that stop sign on many occasions and the red light, they could have responded to that appropriately.
Well, I think during questioning from the defense counsel, I think the way he pointed it out was the person is going to be very familiar with that area.
Okay.
And so if they're very familiar with the area they're driving in, if they've been in that area, living in that area for 5 or 6 years, and they know where things are, that situation, they're going to be able to recognize those things they're familiar with.
The stoplight.
She'll speak when she wants to. I know what that means. You can get that one past me.
Have you been hanging out with Ash for a little too long?
I thought that was French.
Oh, is that French? I don't know.
Yeah, I speak French. That's German.
Oh, all right.
I mean,
I
I
don't
like
know.
a couple German beers. I took German in school, but that was a long time ago.
You did say something in German.
I said, good afternoon.
Yeah, that's English.
I said, guten Tag.
Oh, I thought you said I said good afternoon. I was like, yeah, you did.
That's
but
what I
that's
said.
English.
Good afternoon.
Well, you know,
It's after 5. You're good.
you know. Jesus.
I'm pressing. I'm pressing. I'm pressing.
You are a person.
I said pressing. Like a
Oh.
pressing. Pressing play.
And stop
Okay.
sign, yes, sir.
They're going to know things that, in terms of long-term memory, the fact of where their house is. Where is that, short-term or long-term?
Well, that's in called automaticity, or kind of an automatic functioning. It's something you know wrote and doesn't require emergency response.
Because you've been there so many times.
Correct.
Because you've seen it so many times.
That's right.
So any other location or structure that you've been, likewise have been to or seen a number of times, you'd be able to recognize.
If it's important in your daily functioning, you will integrate that into your daily activities.
We've talked about a person's house where their parents have lived all their life. That would also fall in that category of something they'd be able to recognize.
That should be, yes.
Is ecstasy going to affect a person's ability or level of fear of apprehension if they're committing a crime?
I don't know. That's a psychodynamic question.
And
It's
you're
not
not qualified.
expertise.
You're not an expert in
No.
psychology or
No.
psychiatry.
That's correct.
Okay. Is it going to affect their ability to help formulate a plan to dispose of evidence of a crime?
I have no idea.
Okay. And I think you said the euphoric effect of ecstasy is as close as you've been able to say, anywhere from around 4 to around 6 hours.
That's correct.
And in fairness, that estimate could even be off by an hour or two. Is that not correct?
Certainly.
In fact, as someone who has studied the effects of controlled substances and drugs, is it not true that when you have an average, that also brings into play that there are people at either extreme end of that average?
Sure.
Everybody's individual metabolism is different.
Well, it's more the physiological response in the central nervous system is the primary difference.
Okay, so in my simple terms, everybody is different, basically, neurologically.
That's correct.
Okay. And you have no knowledge or information that would help you decide where Chante Mallard fell in that range. Is that correct?
But I just assume she's an average person.
Your Honor, I'm going to need a couple minutes to look at the material that I believe is probably going to be in my table here.
Jury, go to jury room, please. All right. Counselor, you may continue.
Dr. Wimbish, I did find 3 fax pages, and I can't remember. Did I show these to you and confirm that this is what you were referring to?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Cover page and 2 pages, and that's what you said. This is the total of what you referred to as far as scientific literature to testify.
You asked me what I had looked at. I
Yes.
pulled out and looked at that information, what I was interested in is the half-life, to refresh my memory of the half-life of the drug.
Okay. And tell me again when the last time you testified, you were called by a prosecutor in our office to testify?
It's been somewhere in the last 10 years is all I can tell you.
Okay. Somewhere in the last 10 years?
Yes, sir.
You don't know whether it was 8 or 2?
No, sir, I don't.
Do you know the name of the prosecutor?
No, sir, I don't.
Do you know the issue that you testified on?
Yes, it was concerning a date rape drug concerning GHB, or gamma hydroxybutyrate.
Okay. 8 to 10 years ago.
I'm somewhere in that time frame.
Okay. Are you being compensated for your time?
I certainly hope so.
Okay. And what do you hope you're going to get?
Well, my professional rate is at $150 per hour.
Okay. And
And
is
I've
that,
had consultations with the attorneys of record and the time in court today.
okay. So what I want to do is I want to go through that and so that we can understand exactly what your total compensation is going to be. You were contacted 2 weeks ago.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, starting from that time, can you tell me how many hours you put into the testimony that you're going to be paid for?
Yes, the amount of time so far prior to today, or prior to the court testimony today, is approximately 10 hours. And then let's see, from preparation for.
Just 1 second.
I'm sorry.
Because I'm not going to be able to do this. Remember the math
All right.
thing. Okay. 10 hours
Prior to
today.
At
At $150 an hour is $1,500.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So far, so good. Go ahead.
All right. And I'm estimating the prep time for trial today, the time till I get back to my office, we may consume another, well, let's just say 10 hours.
Okay. That you're making it easy on me. That's $3,000.
Yes, sir.
And have we talked about the time in court, or is that included?
No, that's included everything.
Okay. And do you live here in the Metroplex area, right?
I live south of the Metroplex, yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any travel money that's going to be included in that?
That's all included.
Okay. No other per diem or anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. So your fair best estimate is about $3,000.
That's a reasonable estimate, yes, sir.
Okay. And in terms of the short term and long term and what's stored in there, You can't say with any certainty where different memories are going to be.
No, sir, I can't.
Okay, that's just beyond
It's beyond my expertise, yes.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Doctor, let me ask you about your assumptions were based on certain facts that you were given in a hypothetical fact situation, right?
Yes, sir.
And as to smoking the marijuana, your assumption, as Mr. Alpert suggests, was your assumption based upon somebody that's smoking marijuana, just puffing on it but not inhaling it?
No, sir.
Okay. Is your assumption based upon someone who is chronically smokes marijuana for the purpose of obtaining a high?
Yes, sir.
And your testimony is based upon that person smoking marijuana and achieving that purpose?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Not just somebody puffing on it and not inhaling?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right. Now, do you know the difference between a marijuana, that's a joint or a cigarette, and a blunt?
I do.
Okay. And a blunt is marijuana put inside a cigar shaped.
Object leading.
Okay. What's a blunt?
A blunt. A blunt came originally from the word Philadelphia blunts, in which the cigar or a blunt is hollowed out, and then the core is replaced by tamping, if you will, or packing it with marijuana or the plant material of marijuana. So it appears as you're smoking a cigar, but the interior is really a marijuana plant. And the blunt is euphemistically, it can be large cigars.
Let me ask you about, he also asked you about whether or not, whether you don't know whether or not the pill that was actually taken was ecstasy or not ecstasy. Is that right?
I don't.
Okay. But your assumption was not based on that, was it? That it was not ecstasy?
That's correct.
Okay. Your assumption was based on that it was ecstasy, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if I add another fact to the hypothetical, the fact that the person that took the other half of the pill was someone who was an experienced ecstasy user, and that person says, yes, I got the same effect as I always get from ecstasy, then would that, is that something that would make this hypothetical more significant?
Yeah, we call it confirmation.
Okay. He asked you a question about would a person be able to recognize a fire department when you see, a fire station, I guess with trucks and, a Dalmatian dog out there. I mean, somebody sees a fire station, they might, if they're familiar with the area, they certainly may be able to recognize it's a fire station, right?
They need to recognize that the building's in that location.
Okay. Now, is there a difference between recognizing a building and being able to access long-term memory, a decision-making process that tells you I need to go to that building because of the emergency? Is there a difference?
Yes, sir, there is.
Please tell the jury what the difference is between just recognizing a building and recognizing the need to go there.
Well, if you're in a familiar area, you may recognize the buildings or structures that you pass every day, just like we do going down the road. The ability to determine how the response would be to an emergency requires them recalling long-term stored information. Marijuana chronically used, as well as ecstasy, we know inhibits that process. So the ability to retrieve that information to determine where is the fireplace, or was it over there or located in a different area, or is there even one in the area, may be totally disrupted. So that the sequence of arriving at that information to produce a response is disrupted.
Is that consistent with a person who is in an emergency situation saying, I don't know what to do?
That may be a response, yes.
If let's say a pilot of a commercial airline, and you're getting ready to fly on this airline, and you knew the pilot had taken ecstasy 30 days before, would you get on that airplane and fly with that pilot?
My personal belief is no.
Okay. What about 6 months?
There's no data whatsoever to respond to that. If I knew a person that used ecstasy, I would like to know how long they've been off of it. 6 months would be still questionable to me.
Why is that? Why would that be questionable to you?
Well, as a toxicologist, the animal studies that we look at, chronic use or high doses of ecstasy, there's permanent damage to the selected tissue or the nerve tissue in the central nervous system. Hasn't been proven in man, but I know it affects, and it is permanent for individuals, or for animals at least, that are given large doses on a high amount for a period of time. The permanent damage takes place to that tissue. And I'm just conservative.
Now, as to the dose of ecstasy, you don't know whether it was what'd you say, 50 to 350 what?
Milligrams.
Milligrams. You don't know whether it was 50 or 350.
No, sir, I don't.
Obviously, if a person took a very strong dose, a 350 milligram dose, they could certainly be more affected.
That's correct.
Okay, and if they took a half of a 350, that'd be 175. They'd certainly be in the high area, wouldn't it?
It would.
Okay, and even if you took the midline of 175 and you divided that in half, I don't know what you get, but you get, about 87 or something like that. You get about 87, and that's still above the smaller doses that are found on the street.
That's correct.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Doctor, you mentioned that chronic use has affected in studies involving animals and the effects it has just a minute ago, right?
I was referring to ecstasy.
Right.
Okay. Yes.
Chronic use.
Yes, sir.
Chronic use isn't half a pill of ecstasy, is it?
No, it's not. It means more than one dose.
How many doses would you say these poor animals were given before they were tested on their abilities?
I don't know, but I can assure you it was repeated over weeks or so.
Okay. And so there's nothing about chronic use in the fact pattern given to you by defense attorney, is there?
All I know is there was a previous occasion use.
Okay. One previous occasion of use some months before and then half a pill on this date. Does that meet your definition of chronic?
Not necessarily. That just means repeated abuse.
And repeated is different than chronic?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And I think in response to a question by defense counsel, the way that you can tell the effects of the ecstasy on one person, he asked you if another person had taken the same drug and they were familiar with the drug and they felt the same effect, that you can make some correlation between the fact that it affected them on the way it affected another person?
No, it is confirmation that the drug contained ecstasy.
Okay. Well, if another person had the same amount of ecstasy, had the same amount of alcohol, and smoked the same amount of marijuana, would you expect them also to have the abilities you talked about affected as well?
Certainly.
Okay. That's just common sense, right?
It's reasonable.
Is a person on ecstasy, under the scenario he gave you, are you saying that the amount of marijuana that they smoked, the minimal amount of alcohol in their system, and the half a pill of ecstasy is going to keep them from being able to recognize they had a moaning, bleeding person in the car with them?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't know the answer to that.
And you also talked a couple of times about something that may be totally disrupted in the course of your testimony, that when you say something may totally disrupt, talking about the combination of drugs, the other side of the range of maybe is it may not, correct?
Oh, I think it's a high probability that it occurred.
You think it's a high probability?
Yes, I do.
And that doesn't have any room for any variance in that it may not have?
Well, the high probability means that it's in the realm of possibility that there is no effect at all.
Pass the witness.
Doctor, if a person had taken ecstasy 6 months before and then on this occasion a half a pill of ecstasy, will that person be susceptible to experiencing the very things you're talking about, is the inability to grab back into that long-term memory, to get into that file cabinet?
Essentially, yes. The answer is yes, because repeated use of the drug pronounces the adverse effects rather than the primary effects, which are the social release and engagement process becomes diminished. And then the adverse effects that we discussed are more prominent with each time they use the drug.
And the adverse effects, it only takes the second time.
In some individuals, yes. Some individuals, it takes more.
Ask the witness.
And doctor, if a person took a pill of ecstasy and reported that it did not affect them at all, is there a pretty good probability that they got a bad ecstasy and it didn't have it in it?
I don't know that setting, if they were using other drugs. They may have masked what they were looking for in ecstasy.
What if they weren't using other drugs?
Then it's possible they may not have used ecstasy.
Okay. And when you talk about other drugs masking, you're not saying that alcohol or marijuana can mask the effects of ecstasy, are you?
No.
Okay. Pass the witness.
And a person who was using alcohol and marijuana not recall the effects of the ecstasy on them.
It's possible, yes.
Okay, that's all.
No further questions?
May the witness be excused.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Wow. Let me, next up, we have, no, Bree, he did not.
he might
No,
have.
Bree. Well, I mean, he could have, you know.
No, but he did feel like a big man holding that tiny cup.
I was like,
As
oh,
he
look.
should, though. As he should. He's very properly manscaped. I mean, I was pretty impressed.
I was like, it's one of those little teeny tiny cups again. At least they don't make everything look yellow.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna hop off here. I gotta go pick up my prescription.
Well, you don't have to
Oh,
like leave.
then?
We
No,
still
I'm not
got-
gonna leave, but I'm just saying I gotta run the time real quick.
All right, I was going to say I'm going to stop talking because corporate Carmen's going to come in.
Shut up. I tried to see if I wrote this correctly. It was my notes from last time. They was talking about rolling joints and stuff. So this is
Oh,
about-
well, when you unroll it, wait, before you unroll it, you have to say, as you're unrolling it, you have to say, hear ye, hear ye.
Hold on, I gotta go back to it.
All right, redo it, rewind.
It's
Oh,
sticky.
wow.
That's what she said.
It'll be at least another hour sticky.
Yes.
All right.
Here he.
Hear
Something
hear
about-
he. It's hear ye.
I'm sorry. I'm not from the 1800s.
AJ, I mean, the way she did it was, I mean, that was perfection. Bravo, bestie, bravo. Don't listen to AJ. She doesn't know what she's even talking about. Hear he. Bravo. I love the performance. I love the way you unveiled it. And see, I mean, she's got it. She's natural.
Oh, that's
Something
hilarious.
about Exhibit 18. I don't even know what this note means.
Also, that's
sticky.
also a
And also, when you get to the pub, say hear he.
yes. You have to say it like that. And next time I go to a pub, I'm gonna do that, videotape it, and send it to AJ.
Oh, please. Like, just have me on the phone.
I could do that as well. No, Carmen, you did a great job. I loved every second of it.
Thank you.
And I'm not even joking. I mean, she's laughing at you, right? I mean, come on, AJ. She did a great job.
All
She
right.
did a great job.
Bravo.
Bravo.
When you walk
Can't
into
even hear that clap. Step it up a notch, AJ.
I'm trying to not blast anybody's ears out. When you walk
Well,
into the pharmacy,
That's what
say
she said.
hear he.
Hear he. I'm gonna get that job. I'm gonna get that job just to say that, and that's how I'm gonna say it.
Hey, they still do
Yeah.
that in your courts out there.
They do over here. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how they start it.
Yeah. And
But
yeah,
actually, here they say he.
All right. I gotta go. I'll be back.
All right. Flash fan, no, I don't. I say Worcestershire, not Worcestershire or wash your sister sauce. All right. Come on now.
yes, that's what mothers are for. to make fun of
Exactly.
the kids.
Yeah.
Yes, and wear powdered wig. That's not to me. That's to you.
Well, that's something that we could get for Carmen for her dress up chest that she has next to her. I'm gonna write that down real quick. Hold on 1 second. I gotta get my pen.
All right. Well, while you
All right.
click that away, the next witness that we are going to see is a very short one. It's
All right.
he apparently cannot stay on the stand for more than 10 minutes at a time because he never has. This is actually the victim's son, so I'm not making fun of him because that would
Wait.
be horrible.
Gabby, say wabbit instead of rabbit. Can't. It's
Wabbit?
the same thing. Wabbit. Wabbit.
Yes. He's a short one. But it's the victim's son, Brandon Biggs. And like I said, he's about 9 minutes, and then we will
So,
go into closings. Go ahead.
so is he actually big?
I have no idea.
I bet you he's under 5 feet.
Nah.
You want to bet? Screen's black right now. You want to bet? What do you want to bet?
He's under 5 feet?
Well, he's like maybe like 5'2", 5'3".
I've not ever seen him walk. I don't know.
His name is Brandon Biggs.
I'm
he's-
aware. But he's not
Okay.
like 6'7".
Paul Tom says, I bet he's huge. I bet you know he's
not.
huge.
Duck season. Oh, wabbit.
Aren't you
Duck
close to
season.
being a legal midget? Hey, Bree, you know what? I liked you for a second. I don't know. I don't
Huh.
know.
That didn't come up. And did you have to approve that? Because that didn't come up.
Yeah, I did. I did it. I looked at my phone. I saw it needed to be
Okay.
approved, so that's why it didn't show up because I
You know-
probably didn't meet the threshold there.
You know, I'm going to keep all these little blames that you're putting on my granddaughter and
That was Madison. I don't believe you.
let her know what you did
mean-
when she was 1.
Have you even seen her smile? I don't believe you for a second.
All right, let's go with Mr. Biggs. I don't know if he's tall. He's definitely not big around.
You never
Brandon.
know.
Yes. Okay.
Anything could happen.
All right. Sorry, Serene Pound's chat. Stop it.
All right, I'm muting.
Here we go. Let me know if I need to adjust the volume because Carmen had the last one and I don't know. So here we go.
All right. Counsel for defense, you may call your next witness.
Ms. Mallard, rest.
Your Honor, the state would call Brandon Biggs.
Let the record reflect this witness has been previously sworn. If you'll just have a seat there and pull the microphone up close. You may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. You're the same Brandon Biggs who testified earlier in this case, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Brandon, last time you mentioned the fact that there was a funeral. What date was the funeral for your father?
October 31st.
2001?
Yes.
And did you say that you were the one who made the arrangements for the funeral?
Yes, I was.
And how did that responsibility fall on you?
I was next of kin
Okay. And where was the funeral?
in Dallas, Texas.
Okay. And can you tell me about how many people attended the service?
Approximately 8.
Besides yourself, any other relatives there?
Yes, there were.
Who was there?
My mother, my girlfriend, my father's mother, my father's sister, and my mother's parents.
And did you have an opportunity to meet any people that said they had been friends of your father at the funeral?
Not at that time.
And I believe at some later date in March, there was another memorial service. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me something about the impact that the loss of your dad has had on you?
Well, sure, it's been tough a lot of times. with Father's Day and whatnot. I mean, there's no father to send a card to or to visit with, and it gets tough sometimes.
At the time of your dad's death, was he aware of the career path that you were going to take?
He was not.
That decision been made sometime about the time that you lost touch?
That's right.
And did you ever get to meet your girlfriend?
He did not.
What other things have you thought about that your dad is not going to be a part of now?
He'll never get to be a part of. Well, he was not a part of my high school graduation because he had been killed. He was not here for Father's Day. He'll not be here to see me get married, and he'll not be here to watch me grow old and to see me launch out into a profession.
Are there certain things that affect you more than they used to due to the circumstances of his death?
Yes.
For instance?
A lot of times on TV, there will be a scene of a car striking a man, and that's rather disturbing.
Has the discovery of the real details regarding his death beyond what you knew in October at the time of the funeral, has that made the effects of his loss worse or better?
Worse.
Pass the witness.
No questions.
You may step down. Counsel for the state, you may call your next witness.
Your Honor, the state of Texas would rest its case on punishment.
We have nothing further. We close, Your Honor.
We close.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, both sides having rested and closed, I think you know the drill by now. We now need to take up a few things outside your presence. It being close to the noon hour, why don't we go on and take the lunch break? The bailiffs will arrange that for you, and if you'll be back by 2, we'll get started as quick as possible. Thank you.
I'm tendering to the state with the
All right, so he was way less than 9 minutes. He was 4.5 minutes. Do you guys want to see any of the stuff which just looks like they're doing exhibit stuff? I'm gonna assume you don't, but if you do, we can watch it or we can go into closing arguments. Flashman's like, no, no. And Gabby's laughing. Well, fine. If anybody wants to watch it, speak now or forever hold your peace. And we will go into closing arguments. And I do apologize. There's been not a single mannequin in this. It's very sad. You wasn't laughing. You were saying L, but jumped on O. I can't L on these videos. That's a bad thing about them. All right, I'll take it down though. And we will go to closings. I apologize because the person doing the closing for the defense is the whistler. And I don't know how long he speaks. The closing arguments are about 55 minutes total. So my apologies, because he does sound like a smoke detector whose batteries are going, and they're dying. And it's kind of painful at times, and it's really annoying. Okay, there it is. Give me my screen. All right, it wouldn't share. Okay, here we go.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll read the court's charge. The defendant, Chante Mallard, has been previously found guilty of the offense of murder and tampering with evidence. The court has received and accepted those verdicts, and you will not concern yourselves with the innocence or guilt of the defendant and shall now limit your deliberations under all the law and the evidence in this case to the question of punishment, which it is now your duty to assess. The punishment for the offense of murder for which the defendant has been found guilty is by confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for any term of years not less than 5 nor more than 99 or life, and a fine up to $10,000 may also be imposed. The punishment for the offense of tampering with evidence which the defendant has been found guilty of is by confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for any term of years not less than 2 nor more than 10, and a fine up to $10,000 may also be imposed. You are further instructed that when the defendant is found guilty of more than one offense arising out of the same criminal episode prosecuted in a single criminal action, the sentences for such offenses shall run concurrently. In arriving at your verdict on the question of punishment, you may take into consideration all the evidence submitted to you under this charge. However, you are not to discuss nor refer to any matters not an issue before you. You may consider evidence of an extraneous crime or bad act in assessing punishment, even if the defendant has not yet been charged with or finally convicted of the crime or act. However, you may consider such evidence only if the extraneous crime or bad act has been shown by the state beyond a reasonable doubt to have been committed by the defendant or is one for which the defendant could be held criminally responsible. The prosecution does not have to prove the extraneous crime or bad act beyond all possible doubt. The prosecution's proof must exclude all reasonable doubt concerning the extraneous crime or bad act. Therefore, if you find and believe from the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed an extraneous crime or bad act or could be held criminally responsible for an extraneous crime or bad act, then you may consider such evidence in assessing the defendant's punishment. However, if you have a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed an extraneous crime or bad act or could be held criminally responsible for an extraneous crime or bad act, then you may not consider such evidence in assessing punishment. In this case, the defendant has filed before trial her sworn motion in which she prays that in the event she is convicted, she be granted community supervision. If the punishment assessed by you is not more than 10 years confinement in the penitentiary, and you further find that she has never been convicted of a felony in this or any other state, and if you recommend community supervision be granted in this case, then let your verdict show the punishment which you assess and show that the defendant has never before been convicted of a felony in this or any other state, and further show that you recommend that her sentence be suspended. Should the punishment assessed by you include a fine, a recommendation of community supervision should state whether or not the fine will be paid or be suspended and probated. Whether you do or do not recommend community supervision for this defendant is a matter that rests within the sound discretion of the jury. However, if you do recommend community supervision, that recommendation must be followed by this court. In the event that you recommend community supervision be granted in this case, the conditions of community supervision which this court may impose may include, but shall not be limited to, the conditions that the defendant shall commit no offenses against the laws of this state, any other state, or that of the United States. Avoid injurious and vicious habits. Avoid persons or places of disreputable or harmful character. Report to the supervision officer as directed by the judge or supervision officer, and obey all rules and regulations of the Community Supervision and Corrections Department. Permit the supervision officer to visit her at her home or elsewhere. Work faithfully at suitable employment as far as possible. Remain within a specified place. Pay a fine if one be assessed, and all court costs, whether a fine be assessed or not, in one or several sums, and make restitution or reparation in any sum that the court shall determine. Support her dependents. Participate for a time specified by the court in any community-based program, including a community service work program designated by the court. Reimburse the county in which the prosecution was instituted for compensation paid to appointed counsel for representing her if counsel was appointed. Remain under custodial supervision in a community-based facility, obey all rules and regulations of such facility, and pay a percentage of her income to the facility for room and board. Pay a percentage of her income to her dependents, if any, for their support while under custodial suspension in any community-based facility. Pay a percentage of her income to the victim of the offense, if any, to compensate the victim for any property damages or medical expenses sustained by the victim as a direct result of the commission of the offense. Submit to testing for controlled substances. attend counseling sessions for substance abusers, or participate in a substance abuse treatment services in a program or facility approved or licensed by the Texas Commission on Alcohol and Drug Abuse if the person was sentenced for an offense involving controlled substances, or the court determines that the defendant's use of controlled substances was connected to the commission of the offense. Require the person to demonstrate to the court whether the person has an educational skill level that is equal to or greater than the average skill level of students who have completed the 6th grade in public schools in this state. If the court determines that the person has not attained that skill level, the court shall require as a condition of community supervision that the person attain that level of educational skill, unless the court determines that the person lacks the intellectual capacity or learning ability to ever achieve that level of skill. On the evidence of presence of controlled substance in the defendant's body, or on any evidence the defendant has used a controlled substance, or on evidence that controlled substance use is related to the offense for which the defendant was placed on community supervision, the court shall require as a condition of community supervision that the defendant submit to testing for controlled substances in the defendant's body. In addition to any other terms and conditions imposed under this section, the court may require the defendant, as a condition of her community supervision, to make a one-time payment in an amount not to exceed $50 to a local Crime Stoppers program. The court may require the defendant to submit to a period of detention in the county jail to serve a term of imprisonment not to exceed 180 days. If, however, you find the defendant has heretofore been convicted of a felony in this or any other state, or if in your discretion as a jury you do not desire to recommend to the court that imposition of the sentence be suspended and the defendant be placed on community supervision, then you will say nothing in your verdict about community supervision. It will not be proper for you in determining the penalty to be assessed to fix the same by lot, chance, or any method other than by full, fair, and free exercise of the opinion of the individual jurors under the evidence admitted before you. In determining the punishment in this case, you are instructed that you are not to discuss among yourselves how long the defendant will be required to serve any sentence of confinement you decide to impose. Such matters come within the exclusive jurisdiction of the Board of Pardons and Paroles and the Governor of the State of Texas. Under the law applicable in this case, the defendant, if sentenced to a term of imprisonment, may earn time off the period of incarceration imposed through the award of good conduct time. Prison authorities may award good conduct time to a prisoner who exhibits good behavior, diligence in carrying out prison work assignments, and attempts at rehabilitation. If the prisoner engages in misconduct, prison authorities may also take away all or part of any good conduct time earned by the prisoner. It is also possible that the length of time for which the defendant will be imprisoned might be reduced by the award of parole. With respect to the offense of murder, under the law applicable in this case, if the defendant is sentenced to a term of imprisonment, she will not become eligible for parole until the actual time served equals 1/2 of the sentence imposed, or 30 years, whichever is less, without consideration of any good conduct time she may earn. Eligibility for parole does not guarantee that parole will be granted. With respect to the offense of tampering with evidence, under the law applicable in this case, if the defendant is sentenced to a term of imprisonment, she will not become eligible for parole until the actual time served plus any good conduct time earned equals 1/4 of her sentence imposed. Eligibility for parole does not guarantee that parole will be granted. It cannot accurately be predicted how the parole law and good conduct time might be applied to this defendant if she is sentenced to a term of imprisonment, because the application of these laws will depend on the decisions made by the prison and parole authorities. You may consider the existence of the parole law and good conduct time. However, you are not to consider the extent to which good conduct time may be awarded to or forfeited by this particular defendant. You are not to consider the manner in which the parole law may be applied to this particular defendant. Your verdict must be by a unanimous vote of all members of the jury. In deliberating on this case, you shall consider the charge as a whole, and you must not refer to or discuss any matters not in evidence before you. You are the exclusive judges of the facts proved, of the credibility of the witnesses, and the weight to be given their testimony. But you are bound to receive the law from the court, which is given in these written instructions, and be governed thereby. After you have arrived at a unanimous verdict, you will use the attached form and have your presiding juror sign the same. If the jury wishes to communicate with the court, such communication must be in writing, signed by the presiding juror, and handed to the bailiff, signed by myself, James Wilson, Judge of the 371st District Court. Next page is verdict form, count 1. First heading, penitentiary time. We, the jury, having found the defendant Chante Mallard guilty of the offense of murder, assess her punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a period of, and there's a blank, 5 to 99 years or life. And in addition to such confinement, assess a fine of, and there's a blank, up to $10,000 or none. And we further do not recommend community supervision and a place for the presiding juror. Or, under the community supervision heading, we, the jury, having found the defendant Chante Mallard guilty guilty of the offense of murder, assessor punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a period of, there's a blank, 5 to 10 years. And we, the jury, having further found that she has never before been convicted of a felony in this or any other state, do recommend the imposition of her sentence be suspended and that she be placed on community supervision. In addition thereof, we, the jury, assess a fine of blank up to $10,000 or none. And we do recommend / we do not recommend that such fine be probated and payment thereof be suspended in a place for the presiding juror. You're instructed to proceed to verdict form for count 2 of the indictment on the following page. Next page is verdict form for count 2. Under the first heading, penitentiary time, we, the jury, having found the defendant Chante Mallard guilty of the offense of tampering with evidence, assess her punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a period of blank 2 to 10 years, and in addition to such confinement, assess a fine of blank up to $10,000 or none. And we further do not recommend community supervision placed for the presiding juror. Or, under the community supervision heading, we, the jury, having found the defendant, Chante Mallard, guilty of the offense of tampering with evidence, assess her punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a period of blank 2 to 10 years. And we, the jury, having further found that she has never before been convicted of a felony in this or any other state, do recommend that the imposition of her sentence be suspended and that she be placed on community supervision. In addition thereof, we, the jury, assess a fine of blank up to $10,000 or none. And we do recommend / or we do not recommend that such fine be probated and payment thereof be suspended in a place for the presiding juror. Counsel for the state.
Your Honor, may it please the court. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, before she gets started, thank you, Gabby, for the super sticker. I saw the unicorn over there. And, oops, that was the wrong super sticker. I'm not doing that again. It was this one. And Ash, thank you so much. Make sure that you get your other one refunded. I don't know what the deal has been, but YouTube has been horrible about that lately. So make sure that other one gets refunded to you. But thank you very much. All right, I slowed it back down to normal. I can't imagine, I didn't even know community supervision was even an option for her. Also didn't realize life was an option for her. So that was like all over the spectrum there. But let's see what, this is the state here. I forget what you guys called her the other day. I was trying. I can't. I'm not going to speed up closings that fast. I would have. I was inching the other one up, but I didn't know if anybody wanted to listen to it, so I was trying to keep it at least understandable. It says you own this item. Wow. When Carmen gets back, we'll tell her because she had it happen to her last week. I think I don't know. She's had it happen to her. My son's had it happen to him. Grief. Gabby had it happen to her. It's just been a thing lately. I don't know what the deal is.
Why did this happen? Why did Greg Biggs have to die alone in the dark in the cruelest of ways? Why? God knows we'd like an answer. Why else would this crime have captured the attention of a nation? Why would there be cameras in this courtroom? It would be easy to say. It would be easy to swallow Dr. Wimbish's testimony and simply say, this was some ecstasy-induced fluke. This is a one-time thing, never to repeat itself. Instead of some horrific crime worthy of a life sentence. But the evidence doesn't bear that out. The truth does not bear that out. You know what it is. It's window dressing. Something designed to disguise the horror of it all. How do you know? According to Miss Mallard, she behaves when she's on ecstasy. Let's look at what she said. She got up here on the witness stand and she said, if I wasn't on X, I would have called the police. If I wasn't on X, I would have done the right thing. If I wasn't on X, things would have been different. There'd have been no doubt. That, according to Miss Mallard, is when she's not on X. She does the right thing. She calls the police when necessary. Look at her life. You have the unique opportunity to see someone in the wake of a horrific crime. 4 months of behavior. And what does that tell you? What do you know that she did for 4 months after this horrific crime? The one that counsel for the defense has told you she was upset, she was distraught, she was terrified. What do you know? She continued to drink. She continued to do drugs. Not just a little bit. All the time. Morning, noon, and night. She smoked dope. She went to work high. She treated patients high. And don't you know that when this case hit the papers, there were families all over Fort Worth calling to say, please don't tell me she treated my parent. Please don't tell me she cared for my parents. Please don't tell me you left my parents in her hands. And she did that while high. She placed every one of those patients at risk. And that was Miss Mallard not on X. And what else do you know? She drove while intoxicated. And what else do you know? She didn't do it once, she did it lots of times. And she wasn't on X. She held evidence of a murder in her garage, but she wasn't on X. She didn't call the police. She didn't do the right thing. Things were different. For Chante Mallard, life was usual. It was life as usual. And if you have any question, look at what the events from before this happened. Exactly the same. She drank. She did drugs. She got stoned. She cheated on her UAs. She went to work high. She drove high. She treated patients high. When did she do the right thing? When did she call the police? When were things any different? It wasn't ecstasy. As a parent, I would like to tell you it was. I would like to put my finger on it and label it and protect my child from it. But the reality of it is, she made choices. She made choices. And if you do believe Dr. Wimbish, if you find anything that he has to say credible, what did he tell you? When she's under the influence of ecstasy, she'd go into default mode. And what does that say about her character? What comes fundamentally to her? What comes automatically to her? To allow a man to suffer a cruel, cruel death. To have the ability to save him. To have the knowledge to treat him. To reach for a phone and call 911. Don't you know that as Greg Biggs lay there in the garage that day, laid in her car, feeling the warmth of the liquid of his blood on him, don't you know he sat there and he thought about all the things in his life that he would never achieve? Don't you think he sat there and wondered, what did I ever do in my life to deserve to die like this? And she could have saved him. She could have saved him. Doesn't that speak volumes about her character? Doesn't that speak to the atrocity of this crime? And you know, she got up here on the witness stand and she said, I'm sorry. She apologized to her family and she apologized to the victim. And I'm not going to play it for you, but you watch it when you go back to that jury room. Because I'm here to tell you the sincerest expression of remorse is not when the cameras and the lights are on you. The sincerest expression of remorse is when you believe that no one's watching. And what do you know? Less than 1 week later, less than 24 hours after Brandon Biggs buried his father. She was returning to the beginning of what counsel for the defense called her nightmare. She wasn't upset. She wasn't traumatized. She wasn't distraught. Killing Greg Biggs was simply a bump in the road of her life. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't for 1 second believe that what you have before you is an easy job. But there is no one better to do it than you 12 people. You speak for our community, and you speak to the horror of this crime. I ask you for a life sentence.
7 minutes, Counselor.
I ask you for no fine. You cannot buy justice in our county. I ask you for a life sentence because this will be a lifetime reminder to Brandon Biggs and how his father died. Thank you.
The prosecutor tells you that Chante Mallard didn't help Gregory Biggs. So you shouldn't help her. The prosecutor tells you Chante Mallard didn't give Gregory Biggs a chance, so you shouldn't give her a chance. The prosecutor says that Gregory Biggs died. She took his life, so you should take hers. Is that justice? Is that justice? Is that what we call justice in our society? The prosecutor says you should send a message by giving her a life sentence. What kind of message do we send? Is that the message we send? Ladies and gentlemen, you represent a society that prides ourselves on being the most unique and best civilized society in the world. You represent a society that prides ourselves on being one that believes in justice tempered with mercy. And you represent a society that believes in redemption. A society that believes that if someone is truly remorseful, now that's the first step of redemption. And sure, Chante Mallard continued to live her life in that time warp and in that zone she was in for a couple of years when she got away from her family. But you represent a society that says if somebody, at the point they come to court, and as they're sitting here in front of you and sitting here in front of everybody in this world and shows true remorse, that that's the first step towards being rehabilitated. And I'm going to tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, when you saw Chante Mallard in that witness stand and what came out of her as remorse, and when she spoke to Brandon Biggs, and when she spoke to her family, and she spoke to society, she was talking to that same society that you represent. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, there's not a person that saw that can believe that wasn't anything but true and honest and heartfelt remorse. There is no question about that. And that's the first step towards being rehabilitated. And the second step that we all know, the second step towards being rehabilitated and redemption is that you pay the price. Is penance or punishment for what you did. And what did Chante Mallard tell you? I deserve to be punished. She's not up here asking you to give her a probated sentence. The law allows for it. The law tells her, Chante, you're entitled to ask this jury for a probated sentence because you haven't had anything on your record in your entire life except a traffic ticket. She's never been convicted of anything, and if you're in that situation, you can come in here and ask for a probated sentence. And in 30 years of doing this, ladies and gentlemen, I've never seen anybody that was entitled to ask for it that didn't ask for it. And what is the second step that we're talking about? And that means accepting your punishment. And she said, I'm ready to accept it. I deserve it, and I'm ready to accept it. But the third aspect of all of this is that if you are truly remorseful, and if you do say, I want my punishment and accept, and if you are punished, that our society believes that there is a chance to give someone another opportunity to prove that there is good in them, to prove that they can do something good. And that's the fundamental difference between our society and every other society in this world, is that we believe there's a chance that somebody can redeem themselves and do better. And our society believes that unless there is some evidence that if the person is again released on the streets, that there'll be a future danger to our society, that we ought to give them a second chance. That's what we're based upon. And there is not one bit of evidence in this case that would suggest that she has ever done anything harmful or hurtful physically to any person. And there's nothing in this evidence to suggest that she would be a danger in the future to our society. That's what this is built on. And if we're going to try to represent this society, I think we need to give strong consideration to that. Because if we don't, what we're saying, the message that we're sending is not the message that, we're going to give her a life sentence and everybody look at us. The message we send if we don't do that is that we're going to give up on these principles. We have for years and hundreds of years said, okay, if somebody really is remorseful and if somebody takes their punishment and if there's a chance that this person can be reintegrated into our society, we're going to give them that chance. What we're saying in this case by the message we send is that we're going to give up on those principles now. We're going to give up on it because this case, in this case, we're just going to give up on it. Well, I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think we can give up on Chante Mallard. And there's a lot of reasons why in this record why we can't give up on her or the principles upon which our society is based. And that is justice tempered with mercy. Now, during the jury selection process, each one of you, I don't know how many people told us, we would like to know how something like this could happen. How can something like this happen? And what we tried to do during the course of this trial is to tell you how something like this could happen. And the moment we do, and the moment we bring you how this could happen, and the moment we put Chante Mallard on the witness stand, and the moment we bring you Dr. Wimbish to show you how something like this can happen, they start calling it, it's just an excuse. They call it window dressing. There was no excuses. I'm going to tell you what, you heard Chante Mallard's testimony. She never one time said anything but it's my fault. She never one time said anything other than I take responsibility. She never one time said anything other than I need to be punished. That's what she told you. She didn't make excuses. She didn't make excuses. And we brought you Dr. Wimbish for the very purpose of showing you how something like this can happen. Because what did he tell you? He tells you that somebody that was under the influence of the thing she was under, from a scientific standpoint, science tells us, because of what it does to your brain, you cannot figure out what to do in an emergency situation because this drug ecstasy blocks off your ability to get into your long-term memory, everything that you know and learn growing up as a person to tell you how do I react in this situation. You can't get in there to pull it out. And that's how this could happen. But we're not saying that's an excuse. Chante didn't tell you that was an excuse. That's just why it happened. And the reason that's important is because it didn't happen because she's an evil, horrible person. It happened because she elected to take some drugs, and those drugs prevented her from doing what she had to do at that very moment. That's why this happened, and that's why we brought you this testimony, not as window dressing, not as some excuse. Of course, it's nice for them to call it that. We brought it to you so you would know how can something like this ever happen. The prosecutor even agreed, Mr. Alpert, on several occasions in his questioning of Ms. Mallard, used the term accident over 10 times. Because the way this thing first started was an accident. Chante Mallard didn't intend to run Gregory Biggs down. She didn't intend to hurt him. She didn't intend to hit him with that car. That was an accident. And I don't know what happened with Mr. Biggs in his life, but at 2:30 in the morning, he was out barefooted, as you see from the pictures, on 287 in the middle of the road in pitch dark. And I don't know what brought him there, and that's not important. But what is important is it started as an accident. And then what happened after that, it was such a startling event. I mean, can you imagine? Nobody can imagine. We can all say, I know we can all say, this is what I'd do under those circumstances, but do we really know what we really do? I mean, you can tell anybody for the rest of your life, I think I would do this or I think I would do that, but do you really know what you would truly do under the same and similar circumstances? We think we know. We hope we know, but do we really know? And so I think you have to take that into consideration. Not as an excuse, but you have to look at the whole picture when you're going to decide what you do with Chante Mallard. And I think that's something you really need to give some consideration to. What she did is horrible. But I disagree with Ms. Jacks. She is not a horrible person. Let me tell you why, if you know that. They spent an enormous amount of energy and resources and power that they had as the state of Texas to investigate every aspect of this young woman's life. They investigated every aspect of it to where they knew when her mother added $20 to her car payment or helped give her enough money to finish out her mortgage payment. They knew that much about her. They knew they subpoenaed every piece of paper and every file from every school, from every place she worked. They left no stone unturned. They looked at everything. How would any of us like to have our life looked at under that kind of microscope and brought here in front of everybody? And what did they find? In her whole life before this incident happened, before October 25th, what they found with all their power and all their resources, they found out that Chante Mallard went all the way through high school and never had one blemish on her high school record. Never one disciplinary problem, never one blemish, never one suspension, expulsion, or even a complaint in her file, or they would have brought it to you. Throughout your entire school, how many can say that? And then she goes off to college, and she doesn't do well grade-wise, but she actually tried to go to college. And we have a girl that worked all the way through high school, a girl that saved her money, a girl that was never in trouble in high school. If she had been, they would have brought it to you. This is not a horrible person. We have someone that worked, that actually had a job, saved her money, bought a house at 19 years old, bought a house and paid cash for it, most of it her money, went in and fixed it up at night. How many 19-year-olds you know that do that? Fixed up her house with her own money, had jobs, 1 and 2 jobs at a time, went to work every day, then goes down and buys a new 1997 Chevrolet Cavalier, gets the car in her own credit, and pays her own money for it. They looked at everything. And what can they bring you? They bring you that she smoked marijuana and she drank. That's what it boils down to. They want to say that she's a horrible person. She smoked marijuana and she drank. Now, smoking marijuana and possessing marijuana, like she talked about and admitted to, is a Class B misdemeanor in this state. Class C is a traffic ticket. It's one step above a traffic ticket. Certainly it's not right. Certainly it's against the law. Certainly we don't approve of it. But I'm telling you, that's what they found in this woman's life. The next thing they found is that she drove her vehicle while she drank or smoked marijuana. Now, she never had a wreck and she never had an arrest or anything before this evening, but that is also a Class B misdemeanor. That's what they found out about her life. And that's why they say, oh, she's a horrible person because she did these. She drank and smoked marijuana. I mean, I'm telling you what, there's a whole lot of people that we all know that have done something like that in their life, and they're not horrible people. And there's a lot of good here. And what we know about her school, her life, and what about her jobs? She comes up here, Ms. Jackson says, well, what a danger all of these patients were in because she smoked marijuana some days before she went to work, and all of her patients were in danger. You have every work record, and they have subpoenaed every job. They diagrammed her work history. And in those records, there is never one complaint of any type of patient complaint. There is nothing in that record that she ever did anything that any employer ever criticized her for that would cause any harm or damage to any patient. They've got every record, and there's not one word in there. Yeah, she got let off for being late or not showing up on time or missing a day of work, but there is nothing in there about any harm or danger to any patient whatsoever. Also. So that's really important. And then she does get away. And you saw the family support she had growing up. There's a church, and they said, we want to take her back if she ever gets an opportunity to get back out. There are people that care about her and love her. And I'm going to tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, you saw Miss Steele come up here, the lady who Chante cared for her dying father for 4 months. And that family saw so much good in her that Ms. Steele would come up here and testify for Chante in a case like this. And don't you know that if there wasn't a lot of good in Chante Mallard, Ms. Steele would have never been up here. And you saw her 8th grade teacher who kept up with her through her family and all of that over the years. And if she hadn't seen something real good in Chante, she wouldn't be up here. But Ms. Steele also told you that we cared so much for her, we drove her out and took her to the funeral. And took her to the funeral with our family. Now, don't you know that Mrs. Steele, if there wasn't a lot of good in here, she wouldn't have been here and they wouldn't have done it. And there is so much good left in her. Yes, she did get off track in her life, and God knows she's sorry for it. And she did get in and start running with some people she shouldn't have run with, and she jumped right in there with them. And she was doing what they were doing. But ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't mean there's still not a lot of good in her. And now that she's been in jail for the last 16 months and hadn't seen a marijuana cigarette or a drink in 16 months, her head is much clearer now. And you saw the true Chante, what really came out of her. And what did she tell you? She said, I had a problem with drugs, being marijuana. I had a terrible, and I used more and more of it, the worse and worse I felt, and it's horrible. And she said, I never want to do it again. I need treatment. And when I come out, I've learned my lesson. And when I come out, I want to get back with my family, get back to where I was for all those years before I got off track. And I think that when you watched her tell you that after being in jail and having her head clear for 16 months, it was true and honest and from the heart. On October 25th, there was still a lot of good in Chante. And the problem is, when all of this happened, she couldn't find it to do what she needed to do for Gregory Biggs. And there was still a lot of good in her, but on October 25th, she couldn't find it to do what she needed to do. Find it to do what she needed to do for herself. She has to be punished. But when she comes out, there will be that good there. There will be that good there. Give her a chance. Please give her a chance to come back out and show everybody what she can do with that that's in her. That she lost for a couple of years. That she lost on this horrible night this happened. And she lost while she was on drugs. but that she is gaining back now that her mind is clear. Give her a chance to do that, and give these people who are willing to support her a chance to accept her back, a chance to bring her back and embrace her and get her back on the right track again, because God knows, you can tell from what she said and how she acted, she wants to get there. She wants to get there, and she knows she has to go through a tough time, locked up in a penitentiary before she can get there. But give her the chance to do it. What you look at when you're going to set punishment in this case, you're going to look at the whole life. That's what the law contemplates. That's why you heard all this. You look at Chante's entire life, not just this period of time when she got on track. You look at the entire life, you look at the entire person from birth until this very moment, and say, is there some good, and is there something worth saving? And if there is, and I know there is, that's what the judge tells you to look at in making your decision. Whatever time she does, whatever time you give her to do in the penitentiary, she's going to have to do 1/2 of it day for day before they will even consider her for a parole. They won't even consider her for parole. 1/2 day for day. And then maybe she'll get paroled, maybe she won't, who knows. But whatever you give her, she'll do 1/2 day for day. Remember that, day for day, locked up in a cage. The only thing else is, I want to talk to you about, have you ever, I want you to think about this, have any of you ever gone down a path in your life? And as you were going, you had a small window of opportunity, a very small window to get out of what you were doing. And once you passed by that window, your opportunity was gone to get out. That's what happened to Chante in this case. She was on this track. There was a small moment she could get out of this, and she missed the window to do the right thing. But ladies and gentlemen, if you will give her a sentence that allows her to come out without her life being destroyed in an institution, without her life being destroyed in a penitentiary, she will then have the opportunity to get back on that path, get out through that window, and get on the path she was on throughout most of her life. I'm asking you to please don't throw this life away. Our society is not built on throwing another life away after one is lost. Don't throw this life away. That's not what we're supposed to do here. Throwing another life away accomplishes nothing, especially when we know, punish her, and then we know she can and does have enough in her to turn this life around and have something to save. Please give her something to save in this particular case, because I can tell you, and I think you know it in your heart, and you saw it from that witness stand, she will never, ever, ever go down that path again. She will not ever be in a situation like this again. And she will never go down the path of criminal activity after learning this type of lesson, because she has so much support out there that's going to catch her if you'll just let her be caught. Please don't destroy another life. Please give her a chance to prove she can do something good. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. He did forget some things in there. Also, he went from saying that, you could just let her out on community supervision, suspend her sentence. He forgot that even, and was finishing up talking about, well, she knows she has to go to the penitentiary. If I was sitting over there and I was hurt, like, thanks a lot, dude. But you left out that all important, that X, dude. Like, she took that willingly. It wasn't slipped to her. She didn't get it in a drink. She didn't know she was taking. She took it willingly. Even her friends knew that she should not have drove home. They took them to their house, and then because her friend basically had a hookup, and so she drove home. That's how she hit Mr. Biggs. So many other decisions that should have been made that night. I get there was an Uber and Lyft and all that, but I guarantee there was maybe still a taxi service. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Fort Worth in 2000s, or at all. But yeah, I did not like his argument. But let me catch these super chats up. Frank, thank you. Hail to Belgium. About said Belgium. I don't know where that comes from, and I apologize. Guess it comes from living by corn and driving vehicles. Thank you, Gabby, for passing the donation basket. Thank you, Carmen, for the $2 super chat, and Gabby for the super sticker. Which one was that one? The upside down smiley face. And then Gabby's another $2 super chat. Thank you. And another one from Frank for $2. I can't remember your currency, Frank, and I apologize. But aren't Belgians great? Yes, Belgians. You and I can't say it. I can't say it. You can't spell it. But yes, they are. Thank you very much. You are not crying your eyes out for her. I hope I'm never in this situation again. This prescription is taking 84 years. Well, you ran out of here. Yeah, that is the Southern Indiana accent. I don't know what's happening. Texas Karen Reed. Well, Karen Reed was innocent, and this woman showed what it really looks like to get hit by a car. Sorry. He was. He was annoying. Euro. Is it euros? I don't know. There's not an accident. Accidents are unavoidable. This was a collision and it could have been avoided. Yes, AT1. Mostly by her own choices. Mr. Biggs, from what I have read, did have some mental health issues. And he was off his medications. So I don't know if that had anything to do with him walking in the road in the dark, in the morning, or without his shoes on. I have no idea. Hey, Luca, you will fall into bed now. I'm sure you are. Very tired after 5 hours of work, council meetings, and an 8-hour drive. Whew. Have a great night. You too, Luca. Yeah, she's nothing like Karen Reed because this guy got hit by the car. That guy went through the car. Puddletown, thank you for the $2 super chat. Sorry. Okay. I don't know for what, but alrighty. €1. All right, so I love how this judge, he gives them a very short leash time-wise on their closings. I think he gave them 30 minutes for their closings for the main part of the case. And I didn't hear what he gave them for it this time. I'm guessing around the same time. So we'll go back to the state's rebuttal, and then we will go to her sentencing.
You know, the punishment phase of a case is an opportunity for a jury to be told the information they need to make a decision. That's what it's all about, the good and the bad. And sometimes, when terrible crimes come into this courtroom, there are reasons for it. The person did not have a good family life. Their parents did not teach them values. But that is not the story of Chante Mallard. And you know that very clearly, because you met her parents, and they're good, moral people, and they raised her right. Sometimes you find out that a person, because of poverty, because of need, is pushed into circumstances beyond their control. But that's not Chante Mallard. And you know that because she had opportunities. She had the ability to get work and choose jobs. That's not her. Sometimes in the punishment phase of a case, you hear that a person has some type of mental problem. They're not able to think clearly. They're not able to do well. Chante Mallard graduated early from high school. Chante Mallard was able to get a job. And they keep talking about how she lost her family. She lost her way. She was taken from them. And that's not what the evidence showed. She made a choice. Her family did everything they could to teach her, this is the way you live. These are the values we have. These are the people you want to surround you with. And she made a choice, and she rejected it. And she entered a life of selfishness. And with all the vast resources of the state of Texas, with all the power this office possesses, she almost got away with it. She nearly got away with murder. How did we catch her? Miranda. Well, I suppose like T, who also helped us solve this case, must be trash. She surrounds herself with people that will put their lives, their freedom in jeopardy, will lie to a grand jury. Gregory Biggs was in the middle of the roadway. Did you hear that? Do you believe that? Think about it. If this was a pure accident, if she had no responsibility for this case at all, do you really think she would have taken the time and gone to the extraordinary effort to cover it up? Does that make any sense to you at all? Do you really believe that the inferences from this evidence are that Gregory Biggs was in the middle of the roadway? It's unbelievable. It just makes no sense. It violates everything any decent person could ever imagine. A man who gives money on the advice of his son to a friend. He loses his vehicle, he loses his livelihood, he loses his home. You have to go to the Bible to find a story like that. That's not the way it's supposed to work. We have Job born again. And it would be natural and understandable for a person in that situation to give up on life. And he didn't do it. He had dignity. He believed he had a future. Without any resources at all, he pulled himself up. He was driving a school bus. He wanted to make his son proud. And can you imagine? He's got his life back together again. It looks like things are going well. And heaven must have turned away because he met her. Oh, and God knows, she's remorseful. How many times did Mr. Kearney have to keep telling her, Chante, you're not saying this is T's fault, are you? Chante, you're not saying this is Cleet's fault, are you? Reminding her of what this is about. Excuses. She didn't know what to do. How many times did she say that to me? I didn't know what to do. It's not my fault. I'm driving along. I've been partying. Dr. Wimbish, and I use the term doctor in quotes, you think you'd get more for your money, wouldn't you? The alcohol is going to have no effect on her. He testified one other time that a 0.06, 3 times more, a person would not be intoxicated. So how is that alcohol interacting with anything? And where is the evidence that she smoked entire cigarettes or cigars of marijuana? It's not before you. She took half of a white pill. Ecstasy use. He's right about one thing, it's an epidemic. And if ecstasy had the ability to remove the conscience and turn people into uncaring, cold creatures, the way it turned her supposedly into it, then we better check our garages because, you know, there's got to be a lot of bodies in them. And that is absurd. And as horrible as this crime is, and as much as everybody desperately wants to find an answer for it, the answer is really very simple. How do you judge the character of a person? You look at their life. And Chante Mallard, through her own words, has had to demonstrate to you and explain to you how she's escaped responsibility her entire adult life. She chose to care for people. What kind of people is she caring for? People that can't care for themselves. And she's stoned on marijuana. Well, what does Dr. Wimbish have to say about that? What would you imagine? He won't fly in a plane if a pilot took ecstasy a month ago because he's so conservative. Or would he put his mother or his father in a nursing home, knowing that the person who's supposed to respond to their needs and find someone to help them when it's necessary gets stoned for 6 years, morning, afternoon, and evening? That is all about selfishness. You just got to accept it sometimes. Some people lack the moral fiber to do the right thing. And sometimes our communities pay a terrible, terrible price for that. Why has this case captured the imagination? Why has it horrified so many people? You have to go back to 2001 and think about the times we live in. Times of uncertainty. Times of terrible, unbelievable acts of violence and destruction. And in the midst of that, human beings showing that spark that most of us have that makes them do extraordinary, heroic things. Sacrificing themselves to help others. Braving danger to help others. And in the midst of that opportunity to feel good, to have our children look out and say what a wonderful world it is, Chante Mallard comes along and reminds us that for the most noble, wonderful things people can do, there's always another side to it. There's always another side. And I think a lot of people lost something when they heard about this case. I think they lost their faith. It's amazing that Brandon hasn't lost his faith. The loss he suffered and the dignity he's gone on with. A man is lying in her car, moaning and bleeding, and she needs someone to tell her what to do. And the suggestion is, you can't know what it was like. You can't know what you would do. Yes, I do. I know what I would do. And you know what you would do. And you know what any decent person with a shred of dignity would do. They would call for help. They would do what they could to save his life. They would put a human's life ahead of their selfish need and desire to escape punishment. And you've got a decision to make today. This is not the what can we do for poor Chante phase of the trial. This is the punishment phase. This is the opportunity to say, what are we going to do for ourselves? What are we going to do for our children? What are we going to do for our neighbors? What are we going to do to make sure that nobody ever dares to gamble with another person's life? That nobody has any doubt about what a jury will do when a person shows this level of indifference to another human being. That's your decision. It is not an easy one. It is going to be painful. It's going to be hard. And I'm going to ask you to look within yourself and find the moral fiber that you have and she clearly lacks. And find the strength to say that not because of cameras, not because I'm telling you, but because before anyone told you, you knew in your heart when you heard the terrible events of this crime unfold and you saw the lack of moral fiber of a woman that less than a week after this happened is back at that club, getting a new boyfriend, going out, having sex, taking drugs, getting another new boyfriend, and then taking that car apart to cover it up. Don't fool yourselves. She almost got away with it. If your sentence gives her an opportunity to see the light of day again, we're not going to catch her. She knows where she messed up this time.
No, we're not objecting.
To that as being speculation as to future criminal activity and is not supported by the evidence. We're objecting.
All right. Jury will recall the evidence.
Is that overruled?
Yes.
Pardon me?
Jury will recall the evidence. Are you finished, Counselor?
Yes, sure.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you may begin your deliberations.
And through the magic of court, we'll get to her sentencing. One of them is asking for life, and the other is asking for a suspended sentence. And I can tell you, spoiler alert, neither one of them got what they were asking for. And I was kind of hoping Carmen was going to get back in time for this part, but she's apparently stuck. What the heck? Why do they keep doing that at Walgreens or wherever she is? Here we go. I'm trying. A few moments later. I know that was really bad. I said it right in my head. All right, here we go.
I'll ask the presiding juror, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you please hand the verdict form to the bailiff? And I'll ask the presiding juror, is this a unanimous verdict of the entire jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
In cause number 03715-2D, styled State of Texas versus Chante Mallard. Verdict form is to count one. We, the jury, having found the defendant, Chante Mallard, guilty of the offense of murder, assess her punishment at confinement in the institution years, and in addition to such confinement, assess a fine of none. And we further do not recommend community supervision, signed by the presiding juror. Verdict form is to count two. We, the jury, having found the defendant, Chante Mallard, guilty of the offense of tampering with evidence, assess her punishment at confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a period of 10 years, and in addition to such confinement, assess a fine of none. And we further do not recommend community supervision, signed by the presiding juror. Does either side request a poll?
State is not, Your Honor.
We do, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, a poll having been requested, I'll now call you by number and ask you if this is your individual verdict. Number 1, is this your individual verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Number 6, is this your individual verdict?
Yes, sir.
Number 10, is this your individual verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Number 11, is this your individual verdict?
Yes, sir.
Number 42, is this your individual verdict?
Yes, sir.
Number 48, is this your individual verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Number 53, is this your individual verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Number 56, is this your individual verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Number 69, is this your individual verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Number 87, is this your individual verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, poll having been requested and performed, court's going to find this is the unanimous verdict to the entire jury and have it filed with the clerk of the court as such. Is there any legal reason why sentence should not be pronounced at this time?
No, Your Honor.
All right. In cause number 0837152D, style State of Texas versus Chante Mallard, the jury having found you guilty upon your plea of not guilty to the offense of murder and guilty on your plea of guilty to the offense of tampering with evidence, and having assessed your punishment at 50 years confinement and 10 years confinement in the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, it is therefore the order, judgment, decree of this court that the defendant, Chante Mallard, is hereby sentenced to 50 years confinement in the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and 10 years confinement to the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. It's further the order of this court that the sheriff of this county transport you to the director of the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, there to serve your sentence as required by law. You have the right to appeal this case to the Second Court of Appeals located here in Fort Worth, Texas. You do so by filing a written motion for new trial or notice of appeal within 30 days of today's date. If you don't have the money to hire a lawyer for your appeal, I'll appoint a lawyer for you. In addition, I'll provide a record at no cost to you. Counselor, if you'll discuss her right of appeal with her. Ladies and gentlemen, this ends your times as jury duty. We have a few things to take up. If you'll go to the jury room for just a moment, we'll be back to talk to you. Thank you. It's come to my attention that I need to poll also number 101, is this your individual verdict? And number 103, is this your individual verdict?
Yes.
All right. Court will have it filed with the clerk of the court as the unanimous verdict of the entire jury. I believe we have an allocution.
Yes, Your Honor. Brandon Biggs would like to speak on behalf of the victim's family.
First of all, we would like to thank the jury. You've been so patient, and we would just like to say thank you. To the Mallard family, we would like to say that we're sorry for your loss as well, because there are no winners in a case like this. Just as we all lost Greg, you all will be losing your daughter. But while you will have phone calls and correspondence and visitation, we don't have these anymore. So in return, I would ask that you would guide Chante and that you'd pray for her and that you'd protect her. But we would like to say that we're sorry for your loss as well. To Chante, I personally would like to say that I would accept your apology. But in return, I hope that you would accept my forgiveness. I hope you'll accept the forgiveness of Jesus Christ. While forgiveness is given, restitution is still required. So I ask that during your punishment, you'd seek the advice and the wisdom of your family and your loved ones so that you can live a productive life. Thank you. Before I step down, I would also like to say thank you to the prosecution for all the long hours and long nights you've spent here. Thank you very much.
Chante, right here.
Nope, I was not. Oh, hang on. It's going to start over. Stop it. I did not. Let's see. I could have, I guess. I was old enough to, but I did not. Let me get that out of here. The sentence. So the reason I said that neither one of them got what they asked for. So she was sentenced to 50 years. But yes, that would be basically her life because she is 27 at that time. But she's up for 6 years. Yes. Sorry. I can't remember if those ran. Did they say concurrent or consecutive? Or did he say if they run concurrent, she got 50. If they run consecutive, then she got 60. I guess at that point, well, it would make one. But I was going to say what difference does it make? But it makes about 10 years. The reason I said that they didn't get what they asked for, neither side got what they asked for, is because she is up for parole in 2027. I think that would be her first opportunity to be up for parole. So who knows what's going to happen if I'm still here, if we're all still here and they haven't blown up the earth. We will have to check in on her and see what happens. They ran concurrent 50 years total. Okay. I can't imagine standing in that and hearing that in court. That would, I try to put myself in those shoes and I can't. I can't get there. I have no idea what I would do. Gabby, you could come back on, Gabby. Unmute your mic. What's up, Brandon? He always gives us free waves, 3 waves. That's my other child. Yeah, that would be, I don't know. Based on your trip home, you think Armageddon is imminent? Well, the world was supposed to end last month, and then it was supposed to end again sometime this month. I don't know if we passed it or not again. So, I don't know. The world has ended several times since I've been on the earth, and I can't imagine how many times overall it has ended. And we're still here.
I mean,
So.
rapture, you never know. Creep up on you.
I remember I was in high school, and it was one of those times where somebody had predicted the world was going to end, and we were sitting in the choir room, and somebody walked over, and we were all sitting there watching the clock, except for one person who was sneaky and walked over to the light switch. And right when that time came, because these people had it down to the minute that this was going to happen. None of us were even thinking that Australia and everywhere else that was ahead of us was already into the next day at that point.
Yeah.
And right when that time hit, they turned the light off. It made us all jump. I'll tell you, it was hilarious after we realized we weren't dead.
It's just like that video of this guy, his daughter and his daughter and their friends were playing Ouija board upstairs, and he goes in the basement and flips the breaker switch as they're playing Ouija board, and you hear in the background all the teenage girls screaming.
That's hilarious.
I mean, yeah, it's great.
That had to be it. Side-eye. Thereafter, that was almost about to happen in the 90s. That had to be it.
Oh, are you talking about 2000?
No, it would have been in the 90s, like early 90s.
I was gonna say 2000. That was like another thing. Everyone thought that the internet was gonna go down, all that stuff.
Y2K.
I remember. Yeah, Y2K. I remember that. I was, in my living room with my 2 best friends at the time. We were like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we paused and looked around.
Yeah, it's like, are we all?
The electricity was still there. We all still had 5 fingers, 5 toes. 10 fingers, 10 toes. You know,
Yeah.
it's all still there.
Hang on, I want to read this real quick because I know we kind of changed subjects. 821 says, to me, Chante can walk out of prison into her family's arms when Mr. Biggs can hug his son.
Woo.
Woo. The weirdest thing I ever had happen to me, which had nothing to do with the rapture or the end of the world, but when Timothy McVeigh, he was over in the Oklahoma City bomber person.
Mhm.
He like just he didn't want any appeals once he was sentenced to the state unaliving. And so he was over in or the federal, that was federal unaliving. He was in the federal prison over in Terre Haute. And
Mhm.
for some reason I was up early that day when they were carrying out their sentence. And I was watching it on, the outside of the prison on TV and all that stuff. And when it was time, there was this weird, like big flash of lightning, but there was no lightning. It was sunny. There was no storm, and it completely fried my computer.
Wow.
Yeah, it was so weird. And I told my husband, I'm like, did you not hear that? This like because he was sleeping and because I was telling him my computer is fried. I'm telling you, like Timothy McVeigh fried my computer. When they fried him, it fried my computer. But that was the strangest thing because it was just a clear day and that was the only flash. Is when they took him out and my computer went with him. So, Frank, drive carefully, please. I don't need to do your trial.
Yeah.
So, yes. I believe it was. I thought it was. I don't know. I should check that. I don't. I think indeed. I think that's what they did. So tomorrow we are going to start a new trial, and I'm going to ask you guys all a huge favor as we do this one. And I know it's from 2006, so I get it. It's old, but I really want your guys' honest thoughts and opinions as we get to the end of it and we get to the verdict. So I am asking all of you. I mean, if you want to go look ahead and see what happens and all this, that, and the other, I can't stop you. I'm just asking, don't come into chat and say it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, either way, I don't have time to do that to go ahead. So
Right.
not going to happen on my part.
We don't do favors in Belgium.
Well, I mean, he's kind of right. I mean, he's been pretty strict about the waffle supply, you know? So.
And yeah, he couldn't spell Belgium, and I was saying Belgian.
Belgian?
I don't know. It's been a day.
Well, all right.
Yeah, I thought Blair Witch was scary the first time I watched it too. Now I watch it and I think it's stupid.
Well, you know what? It's kind of funny about Blair Witch, the Blair Witch Project movie, is I thought I was watching that one, but it was the spoof one where they have like the camera up to their nose and it's like the nostrils like blowing the bubble.
That's so sick.
And I'm like, why does everybody think this thing is scary? I'm like, this is ridiculous. Girl's got snot bubbles hanging from her nose. Then I realized it was an actual, make fun of the actual movie. And then I watched the actual movie and I was like, meh. I've seen more scary in real life, but all right.
AJ confuses waffles with waffin.
Yeah.
Waffin?
I mean, I believe that. Though.
I would believe it. Also, Carmen will arrest you if you spoiler alert the next trial, which, by the way, is it's a teenage girl. It's the Alaskan case that Flash Fan sent me a while ago, and she is on trial. Oh, I just whistled through my teeth. Whew.
Well, I mean, I can understand that. I mean, you've been hearing it for the past couple weeks, so
That was horrible. Sorry. She is on trial for unaliving her mother.
Oh, shuckle.
She was 16 at the time, and her boyfriend was 24. I'm not sure who was more wrong in that, but I'm going to say him because no. And it was him and I think his friend that did the actual deed, but she was the one that said to go do it.
What did you say? Tip a toot?
That said to go do it.
Oh, I thought you said
Go
tip a
do it.
toot.
Well, I was reading It Takes Talent to Whistle Through Your Teeth.
I
don't know.
I mean, girl, Sonia.
I don't want to do that. I don't. Oh, I'm gonna stop it. Stop it. I don't know if you know this one or not, Shinny.
I mean, I don't know it, so
Like I said, it's from 2006. So I mean, it's yeah. I will.
it's before Flashman's time, you know.
Nah, he was here.
Yeah, what was he like? 3?
6. He's
Same
vintage. He's vintage. He turned 25
Same thing.
in January.
He was 3, 6, same thing. Caleb, right? 3 and 6 are the same thing. Caleb's looking at me like, what?
What are you talking about?
There's still a little bit of cookie left.
There is.
He'll answer whatever you say if he can have that oatmeal cookie.
Exactly. I'll be right back. I gotta go get him the oatmeal cookie.
Oh, okay, so he agreed with you. We got it. Flashman, I'm excited for you to see this. This is the first and only child streamed out of Alaska to date because it's too freaking cold. Beautiful, but cold. Well, he was 6, so maybe not. But he deserved that for saying I went to school in 1874. May have.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he said you went to school in like 1874, but he also said you went to school in like 1801 at some point, I feel like.
Took me a long time.
I mean, I said, you're not grandma. Grandma was around, BC. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Is she older than me?
Yes, she is. She's ancient. She was around when the pyramids were alive.
I don't know how to take that because I don't think you're being serious. I'm trying to see where Carmen is.
No, I am being serious.
She's older than me?
Yes, she is older than you. She's way, way older than you. I'm not kidding. She's way older than you.
Okay. I think I missed. Okay, so I got.
Flashman's like 2000. Peloton's like 2006. I was 37.
Oh yeah, your last. I gave you a fist bump. Thank you for your super sticker.
I mean, you don't gotta thank me. We're just trying to reach that goal that Carmen sent.
Yeah, Carmen set that goal. I appreciate it.
I mean, I didn't want to, get a phone call from HR or anything. So.
With Lincoln Light. What?
Lincoln Light? Is that like Lincoln Logs, but like half the Lincoln log?
I was here. I was trying to see. Maybe I thought maybe he took it down. Shinny. I was here when Jesus got his first pair of sandals.
No, I think Grandma was here, when the dirt hit the ground before Jesus could get sandals. That's how old Grandma is.
Well, let's see. AT1 was 26. Celebrating the 50th anniversary of it, but still 26.
Oh, God.
Idletown was 37.
Frank what was it? 2006?
Yeah, Frank was younger than he is today.
I was 20 years old in 2006.
Grandma stole Adam's for him.
Yeah. She actually probably did. I mean, I wouldn't
Wow.
put it past her. Actually, Gabby was here when the Constitution was signed.
Wow.
I don't remember that happening, but anything's possible.
I still want to know what was Lincoln Light. Because
Maybe it's kind of like Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light.
Lincoln Light.
Is it like an off brand of Miller Light? It's like the off brand of Miller Light. Lincoln Light.
Lincoln Light.
Get it now
there's
at your
So
Get it
many
now
bad
at your-
jokes.
get it now at your local dollar store. Lincoln
There's-
Light.
So many bad jokes that could be made. Because
So many.
oh, I'm not doing it. I'm not.
I mean, I could do it. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, boss.
Ooh.
Thought Gabby was here when the USS Constitution was laid. No, actually, my cousin has he does flooring for a living. His saying is we stretch what we lay.
I
So
clean
you're
carpets for a
mistaken,
living.
sir. That's what he does. That's what he does. He stretches what he lays. Hurry.
Well,
Hurry.
that was a disaster. I'm so sorry that took so long. I ended up yelling
mean,
at somebody in the line because they made me mad.
Well, you should expect a phone call from HR, just so you know.
HR I am the HR. So
I don't know about that. I think we hired outside for
I
HR.
literally told this woman, I was like, they don't have your drugs. Move.
Dang.
And she's like, and I need mine.
And I need mine. And I've waited for an hour and a half now. Get out of the way. They're about to close. Get out of the way.
Hey, Carmen, do you know anything about Lincoln Light?
No, it's Paddletown says it's Lincoln Logs and Light Bright. So was Lincoln Logs and Light Bright, I guess.
I mean, possibility.
My brother used to say he was born when dirt was new.
It's a good
Speaking
one.
of freaking, when I turned on my road because it's dirt and I was driving the speed limit for sure.
Okay.
I drifted around the corner and I was like, "Wee, haven't done that in a while."
She's like, I'm fast and furious.
Tokyo Drift.
Did completely drifted around that corner. I didn't mean to do it.
Did you but like, if you're gonna go ahead and do that, did you have the soundtrack playing?
What?
It's like, I wonder if you know, Tokyo, Fast and Furious. Ha,
The only
ha, 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 ha.
Flash fan.
the only soundtrack I had going was You and My Mom.
All right. That's all you needed. Jesus
Okay.
Christ what was
Oh, no, you're
Lincoln?
reading it wrong. He is not. Flashman, I'm telling
He
your
is
church
snot?
right
Yeah,
now.
he's not.
'Cause he is not saying that nice. What was Lincoln
Jesus.
like? You said light.
Yeah, you did. You did say light. You need to go back and take a look.
He's
Also-
saying, Jesus Christ, what was Lincoln like, you weirdos? Well, I don't know.
I'll
Flash
tell you
Man.
what Lincoln was like, real quick.
He got rid of slavery.
Yeah, he did.
I thought he was making a joke, asking if he was light. Because there were so many bad
Well, I mean,
Oh, AJ.
My-
I mean, if I had a drum roll right now,
I'm sorry.
look at the close up of AJ right now. That was freaking priceless. Lincoln Light, y'all. Lincoln Light. That's a new sticker.
I'm sorry. I thought that's what he was asking.
were you asking if he was
I-
light skinned?
No. No.
Oh, I thought that's what you meant. I was like, that's racist. Why
No.
would that-
No. No.
No, because if we did say that, Flash would be like, "Yeah, racist."
No, Shani. Half the time I just keep those thoughts to myself.
I thought I was the only one. Yeah, no, you were not the
Yeah.
only one. I thought the same thing. I thought it was talking about like, oh, Lincoln Light, like Bud Light, you know, Miller Light. It's like the off brand of those.
Oh, Hickory was
Gabby.
Andrew Jackson.
I almost peed myself with that one. Good one.
Use your lighter and take 5. I didn't go to the racist side. I went to what happened in the theater side. I
I
thought,
went to the theater side. Did you just say that out loud?
yes. What happened to him at the theater?
That's why
The
you always gotta-
theater? The theater?
The
Well,
theater as
Lincoln,
he drove to in his vehicle.
That's what
Lincoln
I'm saying.
You always should watch your back.
Oh.
Wow.
Listen,
know-
if any of you say theater, unfriend me right now.
How do you pronounce it?
I'm not going to say that out loud.
I probably unfriend you too. You're
That's what I'm
probably like
saying.
one of those I don't even know how a Boston person
You
would
see,
say
you
it.
can't even recreate. You can't
can't.
recreate me.
Did you see Lincoln at the theater with his light?
No, I
there
didn't.
wasn't.
What's the end of that?
There was a flash.
There was a flash. That's true.
There was a flash. It wasn't Flash fan,
No.
but there was a flash.
And my
And
my dad said
hold on.
today,
go ahead. Sorry.
he said first of all, when we were walking up to go into eat lunch at the restaurant we go to every Tuesday and Thursday, my sister and I, we looked at each other and I was like, I swear that waitress that was turned out to be our waitress, which we know her because we are there every Tuesday and Thursday. I'm like, she threw something in the trash, and I was like, that looked like a shooter bottle.
A nip?
She took the whole thing, but whatever. And
She
then,
down the whole nip? Good for her.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Right.
And
Flash
we were like,
fan.
it's
I
like-
know how to say it.
And so we were kind of laughing about it because she was just very chatty today at lunch, and she was going on and telling my dad all this stuff, and she's German and she's hilarious, and she was telling us that her husband used to like I don't know, sing like a love song to her, and then she said, then he started calling me evil woman, and now he just calls me Gaddafi. I'm like, oh my gosh. And my dad goes, well, Mrs. Lincoln, other than that, how was the play? And I'm like,
Did she say Guten Tag after that?
she just laughed and walked away. I'm like, oh my gosh.
All right, Flash
So,
fan.
I
I'll
was-
make you happy.
I
Theater.
was
Theater.
See,
gonna
you
make
see,
a-
that's why I don't say it, because, I know it's
I was-
not right.
I was gonna make a Lincoln joke. Do you think I should give it a shot?
Oh,
Yeah, I
whoa.
think you should. Hold on. Let me get a blank page real quick so I can jot that down.
Hey, do you remember that I told you that there's sound effects now on StreamYard?
Yeah, do it. Woo-hoo. All aboard!
The Lincoln train. Because we're derailing.
We've derailed. That sounds horrifying. I mean, who screams like that?
That man.
Lincoln?
Gabby, it's in your car.
I'll stop with the Lincoln jokes.
I guess we could have played this one because it's called Night Driving.
Go ahead, do it.
Oh, that's stupid. Can you hear
That
it?
sounds like a softcore porn.
I was gonna
Yes.
say it sounds like you're gonna go on to Lover's Cliff or whatever.
Wait, that was
and,
dumb. That wasn't a
get
Yeah,
it
that
on.
was dumb. We gotta change these.
Why are there not many films about Abraham Lincoln?
Exactly. They just booed you.
That's how it's gonna be. He didn't really do well in theaters.
Hey, you know, not everyone can be a star. I kind of like that one. That's a good one.
I
That's a
like
good
the
one.
build up to it.
Yeah, me too. That was a good one.
Here.
Did you already go over what we're doing? Oh wait, yeah, because I said I would arrest people. Never mind.
Yeah. Exactly.
I want you to
She
play
hit that
when-
gong. She hit
I
that
want you-
gong good.
I want you to play that whenever Gabby enters.
Hell yeah, do it.
Oh, this is the one I was looking for. That when Carmen.
Hold on, let's practice. Hold on.
How do we still have 23 people in here right now?
I don't know. But thank you all.
Thank you. We're just being stupid now.
I can't see the chat, so you're gonna have to. Where'd she go? Oh, we
she's
gotta
gonna
add her.
enter-
We gotta add her. So
Oh,
you add
when-
her. You add
Alright.
her.
Wait, where'd she go? That's you. There she is.
You know, I mean,
Dumb.
what else can you do here?
Or it could be
You know what I
this.
mean? What? No, I feel like if we ever have Puddletown on, that should be his entry sound.
That or that's just your credibility right now, just tanking.
No, because she has it on her wall. You can't tank her credibility anymore.
She does. It's
I
literally-
paid good money. I paid good money to get that certificate on her wall.
You did.
Honestly, I got it for free.
For this,
That one is obviously for fucking Flash fan. We just be robbing everyone's chicken stands.
Oh my gosh. I'm surprised that they have this one, and this might just get me in trouble.
Yeah, Sticky, you win.
Mm.
Carmen, cut it out. Carmen, I'm not joking. You gotta cut that out.
Or else.
Sticky, you in Discord? Are you in Discord, Sticky?
why'd you say it like that? Oh, Sticky, you in this?
Sticky, you in Discord, Sticky? Mm.
I'm putting it in the chat.
Sticky, link and light me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
Mom, do you have that? Do you have that video of me walking in heels saved?
I don't.
All right, Flash fan. I'm
Thank you
fucking
for-
shaking in my Crocs. Shaking in my Crocs.
Thank you for this
Terrified.
super
Terrified.
chat. You're shaking in your cock. So this is
Yeah,
when
he's like, Gabby, wait till you join Court Watch. I said, ooh.
and then you can just say it. We'll never don't say this. Don't say
What the heck was that?
something that I probably I'm taking off of here.
All right. I mean,
Why?
AJ, we need to sit down and take care of this soundboard because it sounds like Lincoln Light is what it sounds. Sounds real light.
That was supposed to be an explosion.
You know what that actually was? That was Chante Mallard hitting Greg Biggs.
Wow. It's too soon, Carmen. It's too soon. I mean, we just ended it. I mean, bravo.
I
Yeah,
meant.
what's up, channel?
Holy shnikes.
I meant.
Yeah. Well, chat, because there's 24 of you guys in here, I have zero filter. None. Absolutely none.
I'm pretty sure I came out of the womb
Wiki.
with sticky icky with the big wiki.
Do you
Wow.
have the big wiki?
Don't answer that, Sticky. We're writing a poem
No,
for you.
I feel like, you know what? That's a valid question. Let's see what he says.
Is it?
Email sent. That's
Tell
his,
me when to
that's his
stop.
answer.
Sticky,
Tell
tell
me-
me.
Carmen's like, tell me when to stop. Never.
He's like, it's like this. Damn.
I mean, it's definitely bigger than Zach's.
Oh my God.
We all know how big that is. I'm gonna put it in chat right now. How big it is? Hold on.
A clitoris is bigger than Zach's.
That's about
Wow.
the size of Zach right there. You see that? You're right. You can't because it's so. You need a microscope to see it.
We're just kidding, Zach. Just
Troll
joking.
Town, what the F is happening right now? Lincoln Light.
Ah, dang it.
Lincoln Light.
Cheers.
Cheers. I know you just booped your camera.
What are you doing?
Lincoln Light. Refreshing.
Gabby and I were choosing, so we had to boop. I gotta boop my mic to do it.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on.
Okay, that's enough.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure you heard the boot. Whoever says tweezers in a microscope, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Rolling like a big. I gotta stop. I don't want to get copyrighted.
Rolling like a big dog.
I lost my mouse. There it
Okay,
is.
my degenerates. Moment is over. Sorry.
Where are you going? We have a baby together. You can't.
Oh, I like it. You know what?
Can we
Lincoln
put
Light
that in a
Beer.
T-shirt.
We should do it. At the bottom corner, it should just say AJ approved.
Yeah, can we put that on a T-shirt?
I feel like it's
Oh,
the next
oops.
big thing.
I would
Hey,
wear
can you
that.
do a slow zoom out, slow zoom back in again? Because I really liked it. I like your style. I like the color scheme. It's just missing at the bottom by the beer. It's just missing the AJ at the bottom. Yeah, you know what? I like it. I like the zoom in, zoom out, zoom in,
All right.
zoom
You
out.
know, there are so many people that are like, these dumbasses. Why am I? They're like, this is a car accident that you want to look away from, but you just can't stop watching it happen.
I mean, story of my life, Carmen. All right, story of my life. Friggin', you know what, guys?
Yes, it
Go to
did.
your local liquor store. Think about getting Lincoln Light.
Are you ever gonna open your? Sorry, my leg's falling. Are you ever gonna do your merch store?
Yes.
Yes. God
Oh, I'll put you on the.
I mean,
I'll put you on the
we gotta
spot.
get going on
Okay.
that. We gotta get
I
going
know.
on that.
I know. I've been doing.
Let me check my let me check my schedule right now. Well, it's looking pretty Lincoln Light. No, I'm just kidding.
I hope so, Shay. Sometimes you just see the numbers go.
Yeah. The numbers do like if you were to go like to like a Sox game at Fenway Park. Exactly.
That's them.
yes. They're just sitting in the stands and they're just doing the wave. But the wave doesn't
There's
get
only
bigger, it
one of
just
them.
gets big at the beginning. It's like
Hey, Mom, how do you pronounce that?
pronounce what? Hair
pecan?
flip?
Pecan?
Pecan. Yeah.
Pecan.
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 I heard
No,
you guys.
no.
Pecan. Pecan pie.
No,
We'll
it's
have
not.
Pecan pie.
It's pecan. See? Paul Town pecan. Ash will say it's pecan. Grandma, who lives in the South, says it's pecan.
You
Well,
can't.
I don't
no,
live in the South,
she-
so it's pecan.
No,
she
it's
says
pecan.
both.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she did. She said it yesterday. She said
You
that
want
she
you want
said
me to
both.
you want me to message her right now? Because I know she's
Yeah,
up.
dude.
It's past 8 o'clock. I'm a messenger. I'm gonna be like pecan or pecan. She's gonna say pecan.
Yeah, to you. I guarantee if I message her, she's gonna say pecan.
Go ahead. Let's
That's
bet.
right. That's right. You
1,
it's
2,
pecan
3,
because you
and
can't
go.
pecan.
1, 2, 3, and go.
Shay
Pecan.
said so. All right.
Grandma.
Dickie did something in Discord. He feels really proud of himself. Yay. I can't wait. It's pecan, not pecan. Wait, Shimmy, I take back what I said. It's pecan.
It's pecan.
It's pecan.
You know what, Gabby? I'm gonna go break spaghetti.
Just for
fun.
You do that. That's it. You can go do that. That's your own funeral.
This can not con.
I'm not
You-
you. I'm not Italian. You are.
Yeah, but you know what? Still applies. Still applies.
I take back what I said, Shinny. Wait, it's pecan. I take back what I said.
Do you guys want to see something really stupid, but I really like them?
I could
Heck
ask
yeah,
my,
Sticky.
I will ask
like
my
it.
husband
Thinking
and my
like
brother
here.
tomorrow because they love
Well.
pecan pie.
Pecan.
Do you want to see
It's
something
pecan.
stupid?
I'm
So
not
I got
doing
one.
this. This is like pineapple on pizza debate.
I got one.
I hate it.
So my
Exactly.
coworkers, they make me these dragons that glow in the dark.
Oh, do they?
They do glow in the dark.
Prove it.
I can't because I haven't put them in the sun. So they're not going to
Put
right
it
now.
next to your light and then shut all the lights off.
It's gonna take them a minute to charge. But she
Well,
made
charge
me,
it up.
She made me two of
No.
these.
It's con because it's
Those-
KHAN.
Those look terrible. Caleb, come settle this.
He can't settle
He's
it.
gonna
He
side
want-
with
you're bribing him
Pause
with
it.
cheese.
No. He's had his whole family is basically English teachers. Ready?
He's still
Pecan
gonna side
pie
with
or
you.
pecan pie?
You say tomato and I say tomato.
All right.
There you
Thanks,
go,
Mr.
Caleb.
Gabby.
You see what you've done to me? Unbelievable. He said, "You're welcome." All right.
You know what he gets? Fresh rotisserie chicken. I'll
You
send
know
it to
he
your
will.
house.
You know he will.
I'll send it to your house.
You know he will. Well, Gabby, you never tried it, so you can't hate it. Try it.
Yep.
And then tell me you don't like pineapple. No.
I do
I
not like
saw it.
pineapple on pizza. I've tried.
I saw it on pizza, and I said, that is not a pizza.
You
Fruit
saw it?
don't belong on pizza. And before you people say tomatoes are fruit, yes, it is, but no, tomato sauce. Nope.
What did you see?
I saw pineapple.
Did you saw it?
I saw it.
It doesn't have an R in it.
Yeah, whatever. I say what I say. I do what I do. I'm like Popeye. I am what I am. All right.
Exactly. Shitty, what do you think I was gonna show?
Toilet
Yeah,
cleaner.
exactly. Saw it.
Oh
I
wait,
saw
this
it.
is YouTube After Dark.
Okay.
Oh.
Cruise from friggin' whatever the fuck.
We gotta
Y'all
get
eat
this one going.
squirrels? I don't eat squirrels.
No. I'm sorry. If you saw the squirrel around my house, you'd be living off that thing for months. Fat Tony.
Fat Tony.
Fat Tony. He's the fattest squirrel around here.
I do not. I never washed anything in my life.
And in Indiana, we got toilets, and it's a Tuesday, and we wash our toilets and our cars on Tuesday.
Did you just say turlets?
They say it weird here. I'm like,
They do
first time
say
my
it weird,
friend
yeah.
said it, she was like, it fell down in the toilet. I'm like, what the heck is a toilet?
If someone ever said that straight to my face, I would be
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, absolutely not.
the toilet.
Cheyenne
And they
Cheyenne
say
pronounces
ruin
it that
weird.
way. Yeah,
Get
but
out.
It's
Get out.
like the first time Cheyenne said, "I need to use the toilet," I was like, "Well, one, it's you need to use the restroom. Let's have
Can.
some modesty here."
Pecan. Nice try.
And then I was like, "What did you just say?"
Toilet.
And she was like, "The toilet." And then she was like, "I don't need to use the toilet. It's running. It needs fixed." I was like,
It needs fixed.
or she said it
It needs
fixing.
fixed.
Yeah, she said it needs fixing. And I'm like,
It needs fixing.
What? And I was like, who are you?
What is this?
It's a different language here. I'm telling you. I still
It
don't know
needs
it all.
fixing.
Yeah,
Like-
she said the toilet's running. It needs a fixing.
The toilet.
It needs a fixing. Is how how they pronounce it. It needs a fixing.
I'm sorry, but if
I'm
Caleb
like-
ever said that to me, I say, I'll give you a fixin'.
I'm fixing to
I-
get ready.
I
Exactly.
looked at her and I was like, "Do you have a degree?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Are you sure?"
Chloe, you're fired. It's pecan.
You're fine.
Well, you're not fired. I'll promote you right now. I'll kick everybody else out.
Chloe, she doesn't have that authority. She thinks she does because she's wearing that fancy vest. And, you know, she thinks she can fucking sell you
I'm keeping my cool.
bathroom tile with
Jessica
that
told
vest.
that her arms are warm.
She's selling you kitchen cabinets with that vest on. She's selling you anything household appliances, but it's pecan, not pecan.
So I'll
I'll
agree
tell
with Sticky on this. They are pecan sandies, but it is
Exactly.
pecan
Different.
pie.
It's a pecan pie. I will agree with that one, but that's different.
No, Carmen, you've
Your
been
dog every
vetoed.
night.
We've been vetoed. See, your dog, Rue, upstairs, she's barking down there. She's like, it's pecan, 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 pecan.
Your dog Rue upstairs is barking down there.
Yeah, she's barking. She's barking
But yet-
upstairs, but she's barking down there.
Yeah, but Cheyenne makes me laugh because like
Flash fan agrees, pecan.
He just wants a piece of pie.
yeah, he's
course
like, I don't really give a shit what it is. I
He's
just want
like,
some pie now.
Who do I have a better chance of sending me some pie? Gabby, she's closest to me. It's pecan. Good choice, Flash fan.
But how do you
Good
know what
choice.
he's saying? He just spelled it like it's spelled.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So
Pecan. It's not
You
spelled
can't use-
pecan.
you can't use that. There's words
No.
in our language that they don't even say letters.
Well, your language doesn't count. I'm sorry.
Okay, speak. How do you say pneumonia?
Nice try, Sticky.
is
Not
that
even
how it's-
close. Not even close.
No,
And
you're
Still
allergic?
pecan.
He can't even eat it.
What do you want? Like an apple pie?
What are you saying, Vest?
Do you have a turlet wiener?
Oh my God, boil down.
No, but I do have a dragon.
Not the turlet wieners.
And they say ruined here weird. It's ruined.
Yeah.
What?
And
I'm
it's
like-
ruined. Somebody ruined something. And I'm like, what?
No, that's like a desolate, like a abandoned castle. Ruins.
Ruin.
How do
you
you-
ruin something?
Do you? I know we don't pronounce it this way, but my ex's family and then pronounce it this way, and then Cheyenne's mom pronounces it this way. How do you say bag? If
Bag.
they say like big, yeah, they say big. I want a
That's
big.
like
Bag?
Amish.
No, bag is like you got a you found a styrofoam cup on the side of the road. It's got
Yeah.
a chip in it, and you're just sitting on the corner, and it's a styrofoam cup. You're begging for change.
Yeah. No,
That's
they
bag.
say they'll say can I get a
Bag?
big? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's
they'll
people
can
who
I-
would say. That's people who say bagel versus bagel. If you say bagel, get the F out. Get out right now. I can't even deal with
Bagel?
you
You know,
people.
Don't
It's a
actually
bagel.
don't actually
People say
leave the
bagel.
chat. If you actually say that, she don't mean it.
No,
I'll
I
take the
actually
privileges
mean
away.
it. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know she does, but I'll kick her out right now. but yeah, it's so weird because they'll be like, "Can I get a bag, please?" And I'm like, "What?" And I will never forget when the first time I ever heard
I've
it wasn't
never
from,
said bagel. That's what I'm saying. Who says bagel?
yeah, I don't know what a bagel is, but the first time I ever
Hang on,
heard,
Carmen.
can I?
Did you say goodnight?
Pecan.
Yeah.
That's Google.
Give a
Google's always right.
shite about Google. Google can go bagel itself.
It
Right the
says it-
heck, Lincoln Light
sounds
out of
like-
here.
PUH-KAAN. Pecan.
All right. Let's see what mine says.
And it says both pecan and pecan are correct.
Gabby, yours is just gonna
Which one?
come off
Which
and
one
just-
did it say first? Did it say pecan
It
first
said-
before it said pecan?
It said this first.
No, yes, but in
But
the
that
writing,
came first, period.
I'm gonna Google it. I don't
That was-
trust you.
I just
don't
Googled
trust
it.
you.
That came first, period, full
Can
stop, period.
I'm gonna let them two answer that one.
I don't get corned beef. So
you don't get corned beef?
I don't eat corned
It's
beef.
corn beef. You should know about corn. What's the matter with you?
I have never
She
had.
just says she doesn't have corned beef.
I
Yeah,
don't
you
buy
do.
it.
You got it down the street from you. It's beef that eats the corn.
I don't buy it. You know, cows out here.
Yeah, got cows out here.
Pecan
tell you
is widely accepted pronunciation, particularly in southern states. Pecan
Well, grandma says pecan.
is especially
ain't that
also
south.
common, especially on the East Coast and in New England.
Which grandma's on the East Coast. Grandma would not be
She is.
considered Southern.
And then you've got pecan, like I'm gonna pick on you, another variant heard in some southern areas.
If somebody said that, I'm punching them in the throat. Lightly, just like this. And then be like, no.
That's what I said, Chloe.
The right proper way to say pecan pie
Pecan.
is PEE can pie.
Yeah, but you're
Thank
using
you very much.
You're using the New England version of Google.
No, I just fucking Google. What do you mean?
I'm in the middle of the
What are you?
United
4
States. so
states down from me?
It went out every
Come on.
direction.
Gabby, did your Google be like, it's pecan, you bastard? I guarantee that's probably what your Google said.
No,
Sorry.
but that's what's going on in my head.
Puddletown said, stop arguing. Stop.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
So
don't tell me how to live my life.
this next trial, because I didn't miss it, I briefly heard what you said about it. Let's try to get back on track here.
Yeah, then I
Are
gotta
you giving
go.
any what's it called? Foreshadowing? Is that what it's called?
background?
It's been a while since I've been in school, and even that, my brother graduated for me.
How long has it been?
12 years.
Oh,
But again, my brother graduated.
Paul's
for
gonna
me.
hate me now for at least 12 months.
That is a true story. I went to an alternative school, and I had my brother log into my account because we found a glitch in the system, and he literally
Mistake.
he passed my last test for me, and then not only did I graduate, but I graduated early.
Oh, did you?
She did. Look at you, Chante.
Get it, girl.
Oh, well.
Sachet. Sachet. Oh.
All right. Well, the background on the case. Yes, we will give background on the case.
Maybe
we'll
it's
check it.
Maybelline.
Unlike this other one that we got roped in with the false information on the interwebs that he was in the car for 3 or 4 days, 2 to 3 days,
It's been
whatever.
12 years since I was last in school.
I'm gonna fucking freaking mute you.
Me?
Yes, but you made me drop the F-bomb. I'm trying to work on my language here. Just trying to
All right,
say
calm
something.
down. I mean, just mute me. I'm not gonna be offended. Just mute me.
Joke. It's a joke. All right, go ahead, Mom.
So yeah, we'll talk tomorrow, Carmen. Because Carmen, are you going to be here too, Gabby? I got dinner. Maybe I would say we would have some pecan pie, but we won't.
Only if you say that
have
from the
any.
beginning. Only if you say that to me from the beginning and you do a hair flip at the same time.
Are you going to be here tomorrow, Gabby? I'm getting my wires.
Hold on. I got this. Gabby, are you gonna be here? I would really, really, really like it if you were here. It would make me feel.
Okay. I'll only
appreciate
be here if you admit it's pecan and not pecan.
Which one of us? Which
Guess
one
I'll
of us
see you
has
later.
to admit it? Because because I won't be here.
Well,
I didn't admit shit.
considering it's your channel, AJ.
I have admitted that it's
Don't
both.
calm her down.
I give
Don't
you
calm her down.
I'll give you pecan sandies. You give me pecan pie.
All right,
What?
deal.
What Puddletown? You didn't like me going like? I mean, of course. Look at me. I'm obviously gay, so I can make gay comments and flip my hair and be so fabulous if I want to.
It's pecan.
Whatever, pecan. I don't care anymore.
I'm just joking. I mean, that was fabulous. That was fabulous, Carmen. I could see myself being around.
See you, Sticky.
Away. All right, see you guys.
Bye, Sticky.
Well, not see you guys. See you, Sticky. Where, Sticky? Where are you modding at? We can redirect.
Oh, that's Tug's channel. That's huge.
So
Toad.
It's
I
a
mean,
humongous channel.
sometimes you get to tug it. You know what I mean?
do you guys want to know what something is?
Yeah,
in
I do.
AJ?
What is something?
It is called the tug of rope.
Lay it on me, bruh.
It is when you walk past an inmate
Mhm.
and he's got his fist up his ass,
Oh, I know this one.
and he's also
Can I go now?
No.
he's also jerking off, and it's like a tug of war.
Girl, you know, I knew you was going to say that.
Well, dang, you're just everywhere, Sticky.
So
Sticky. Oh, Megan Fox?
Sticky,
All right.
Not that
Oh,
one.
Shizzy? Shizzy be over there? That's cool.
No,
Shizzy's
that's
cool.
I think that's who he's saying he. Are you saying you're modding for them as well?
Are you going
Yeah,
to
but-
hold on one second. Siggy, are you
I'ma
going
look.
to Shizzy's?
I'm
I
alone
think
right now.
We'll do redirect over there.
He's going to. I think he mods for the Umbrella Guy. I don't know if he mods for Megan and Chizzy and some others. Is the way I read that, or if that's who's going to be there.
Well, I just want to make sure that we
Oh,
redirect to the
guess
next-
who's live right now? Guess who's live right now?
I could say
Guess
a lot
who's
of
live right
things. I'm
now?
not
TT.
saying-
TT.
No.
No.
Baker's
We
BFF.
Nope.
don't-
We're
we
not
don't do
going
that
to
one.
direct there. Absolutely not. But
No, we don't do that one.
popped up. So is he going to Megan Fox?
I don't know if he's saying because Megan and Tug stream together.
Yes, but he also
my
said
my bad, Frank.
Shizzy.
We're actually a good Christian channel.
no, we're not. Don't
So,
believe that.
my bad for the language. I mean, it's a shit show sometimes, but my bad for the language. I still can't believe we have 20 people in here. What are you guys doing?
I mean, they love us. All right, let me see this. Hold on, Megan Fox. Live. So Megan Fox doesn't have a live coming up. So maybe it's Shizzy's. Because I'm subscribed to Shizzy's.
Oh my gosh, I have no signal down here.
Also, make sure
You need to
please
get
make
Lincoln Light.
Yeah.
AJ.
make sure that you get some Lincoln Light. But also, guys, make sure if you're not from Gabby, can you drop these in the chat? If you're not from Baker's channel and you're not from Squids, go show them some love. They redirected to us today. Squid, like Baker's always nice to us, always does what he can for us, and yeah, we really, really, really appreciate it. Squid said some really nice things about you today, Mom. So make sure that you tell her thank you. And
I
also,
will.
if you are from there, thank you guys so much for sticking around, hanging out with us, watching the trial, listening to our shenanigans. That's why if my mom turns her chair just a wee bit, she has a credibility thing on the wall, and it talks about it. Can you read it?
No, I think my
Your core probably doesn't know that for.
But wasn't that hiding it?
Yeah, that no, because everything. Just pull yourself up.
What?
Because that's from a defendant. That's his drawing. The one above it is your
Sorry, I
credibility.
was reading something. I don't know who this is going to pull up. Probably you.
I don't have anything. I just have beer. That's all I have.
I don't know. I don't know how Baker does that. Ugh, it's weird for me. This is backwards. And now I can't hear them. My credibility's back there. Over somewhere. And then that is a piece of art from Matthew Moore, who was a defendant in a trial where he was accused of unaliving his wife. She self-deleted, and he was found innocent. Gabby
What
got
the hell?
both those for me. Yeah, there's like 3,000 people over there.
Who?
Okay. So we'll
Where?
still go over there and we'll go rate it and we'll have a good
Who?
time.
Who? Where?
This is how you make your channel grow. You can't be scared to do
Who?
that stuff.
Where?
Tugs, he's doing a hail stream.
Oh.
We can redirect over there.
Yeah, just do it.
And her AJ son, that was a Christmas present from me, Cheyenne, my sister-in-law, my brother, and my niece, even though we didn't even know.
I don't think she was born yet.
She wasn't. We didn't even know her gender yet.
She was here this past Christmas.
Is that when you got that?
Yes.
Yeah, but she wasn't born yet when they were ordering that.
Yeah, we had that ordered like a year in advance.
I know.
Yeah.
I haven't had time to take care of it.
Here, Adrian Neon Cornball.
I know.
I mean,
But anyways, if you got your redirect set up,
I don't.
let's go
Set it
do
up.
it. I've never been
corporate
over there.
said, corporate AJ, you got to keep on top of this when corporate is here. She has the vest. She just zipped it up. That means she's serious. You gotta get it on top of this. I mean,
And also, if you guys do not know, Taco Bell is doing Taco Tuesday. It's buy a taco, get a taco free.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
It is.
Do you get the Baja blast with it?
It's too sweet.
That comes later.
Rude.
Yeah, I get the Baja Blast when I go to. Never mind.
I know what you're gonna say though. I know what she was gonna say. You guys don't.
Oh, that was so weird. So, Mom, you know how you have those dog bones that
Okay, Mom. You know, I have those dog bones.
So you know how you have those dog bones that like have like peanut butter or cheese in the middle, and then they.
Are you talking about crackers? Talking about crackers?
No. But I looked down and I was like, Sergio can't have dog bones. So this was on the floor, like that, and I thought that's what it was, and I'm like, why is there a dog bone on my floor? No.
Did you eat one?
When I was a child, I used to. I didn't eat a dog bone, but when I was a child, I was weird, and I used to go eat the cat food with the cats until my mom yelled at me.
You ate it with the cats?
With the cats, and then my mom yelled at me, and then my grandma came in there one time, and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was
Wow.
like, I'm spending time with the cats.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say. You said meow.
Yeah, no. She would have been like, excuse me?
All right. Well,
See, I'm not weird. I eat dry cat food with my cats too. Exactly.
I mean, whoever. And Carmen. I mean, if I got caught eating cat food, I
was like,
I don't think I would be legally allowed to tell you what would have happened to me on live right now.
Well, actually, I was older than that.
All I can do is
I was probably like 5.
all I can do is represent Lincoln Light beer.
We
Go
were-
to your local liquor store, Paula, wherever you're gonna
Yeah.
go to get it. Lincoln Light beer on the shelves
Yeah.
now.
It was shut up. It was mom when our house was being built. How old was I? I was little.
-0.
no,
'Cause I
she
don't
was
think I was-
probably 5.
You were 5? Wow.
This is a weird family. I'm still unsubscribing. No, you're not.
Frank, no, you're not, because you're a part of the weird family. So good luck.
You
We ain't
can't
never letting you
unsubscribe.
go now.
Yeah, you can't unsubscribe. You're a mod.
Yeah, you're absolutely unsubscribable. You can't. It's just not an option. One of us. One of us.
Flashman, imagine how I feel. That's who I chose to be my best friend.
Flashman, you really dislike me right now? Why? What'd I do? You love me.
I'm gonna go pray.
He's
about
gonna contact me tomorrow and be like, "Hey, can you give me these trial transcripts?" And I'm like,
it.
"Bruh, I got you, boy."
But anyway, we got interrupted because we went off the rails again. So you do have your next trial set up, and then we're gonna talk about it tomorrow, correct? Because I don't know anything about it. I don't even know their name.
No. Me and you are gonna talk about it tomorrow. It's gonna be a crap show, so let me know what's happening.
What time are you starting?
4
A.M.
My time?
4 a.m.
5 my time?
Yes.
4 a.m. my
Sorry.
time. Yes.
All right.
Not 4 a.m. It'll be 5 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Central time, 3 p.m. Mountain time, 9 a.m. the following day, Antarctica time, and 69. Something's burning in your vagina. You got warts on it. Please go see a doctor.
I mean,
Whatever time that is.
scratch your, arse and,
Yeah, you should probably get that.
wash your sister sauce,
And then there's one that I keep forgetting to say because I know somebody.
I think AT1 got it 17,000 Zulu time.
Yeah,
I think that's 1700.
Yeah.
1700 Zulu time, 11 p.m. if you are in Belgium. But there's one in California that I keep. Chloe, what's your time?
Whoever's in California. Chloe's in California. Shinny's in California.
Well, I'll tell you what California time is. It's, you see that wave time?
It's the same as Puddletown's time.
You live in
California?
California?
No, Puddletown doesn't
No,
live in
but
California.
he's on the East Coast. Or he's on the West Coast.
No, he's not.
He was.
Puddletown on the West Coast?
Yes. See?
Get out.
Him and Sticky close to each other.
Why do I
Whatever
think
the
he's
West-
closer than that?
I don't know what the West Coast time is.
3 hours behind me, 2 hours
Yeah.
behind you.
It's 3 hours
Why?
behind.
Why did I think Grandma and Grandpa were 4?
I have no idea.
And also, if you're in Canada, I don't know.
Especially second Canada, forget about it. Exactly, Puddletown. That's what I'm saying. Oh my god.
Hanging out with the Frenchies.
Oui,
All
oui.
right. If you two want to keep hanging out, you are more
Nope,
than
we're gonna
welcome.
redirect.
Yeah, I'm not.
I can't wait to dump a few people into 3,000. That's fine.
Hey, You
You
might
know
get a
what?
shout
I
out.
mean, branch out. Branch out. You never know.
Branch out. You might get a shout out. You never know.
You never know.
Make sure y'all stay
Guys.
hello.
Yeah, guys,
Yeah,
hang
guys.
out. At least
say
say
hello.
hello and hit the like button within their 5,027,000,000.5 likes that they already have. We're 17 in here. Let's go 17 strong. At least say AJ Raid in the chat. Thank you very much.
Yeah, see, not going.
You
That's
guys
rude.
You
I'm
can't have
sorry,
the
but those were
two-
from. I'm sorry, but no, excuse me. Those are from your 2 mods.
Yeah,
Get bent.
yes.
You gotta stick around and at least say AJ Raid in the
Even-
chat, and then you can leave.
Yeah, even if you don't like the channel or whatever, that's who we're gonna redirect to them, and honestly, it's in support of Sticky. Sticky always supports our
Yeah.
channel.
Yes,
So
he does.
we're
Sticky's
gonna
a mod
go
over there.
and-
Go support
yeah.
Sticky.
So even if you don't like the channel itself, please go over there and support Sticky
Right?
because they always support us. So
I don't
alright,
care if
without-
they ignore the chat. I'm going over there. I don't care if no one follows
Yeah.
me. I'm going there. Support Sticky.
I'm not taking your
That's what I'm doing.
But yeah, it doesn't cost anything. Also for this channel, it does
Absolutely.
not cost anything. Please, guys, hit that like and subscribe button. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Get redirected. I know my mom wants to go to bed.
Good night. Yeah, way past
So-
her bedtime.
Yeah, sorry this went completely off the rails, but I have to wave at
It's-
you now because my mom always ends it right before I wave,
Well,
and it's funny. So,
it
anyways,
definitely
we
went
will
off the rails because of my fault. Sorry, guys.
Nah, you can. Yes, Dodo, take care. We
Take care,
will see
Dodo.
you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Mountain Time, whatever it is in California. I'm not going to go through the rest. Go ahead and redirect.
Indian, hey, how are you time? You know.
I'll see you guys.
Hot mannequin love is kinda uncanny. Click, like, subscribe, ooh, piece of candy. Looking for my spotlight, chasing my vibe. Still looking for my credibility online. Ooh, hot mannequin love, candy on the floor, don't pick it up. Chasing all the clicks, chasing all the views. Credibility's hiding, but I'm bringing you the news. Every little scroll is a mystery, but you stuck around, watch the show with me. Laughs and chaos, that's how we roll. Drop a comment down below before you go. Every little scroll is a mystery, but you stuck around, watch the show with me. Laughs and chaos, that's how we roll. Drop a comment down below before you go. Hot mannequin love, candy on the floor, don't pick it up. Looking for my credit, but I'll take